find a few more. If he has time,
What's up, everybody? Man, it's hard to be in a good mood when you got something like this going on. No easy way to bring this show on with everything that's going on right now, everything that is playing out in the media, playing out behind closed doors, and now what Brian Flores is doing. And I want to start off by saying this. I will never, ever, ever act like, defend, or try to put myself in a person of color's shoes. I have a lot of African American friends, Black American friends, whatever term is best for you, please let me know. I'm speaking to you because you are just like us. We are no different. There is no, for me, the divide is because people choose to divide us. And right now, what Brian Flores is doing to the NFL, it's not to the Miami Dolphins. It's way bigger than the NFL. It's one of the biggest things going on in the country. And I know tonight's going to be a sensitive topic. And I'm hoping and praying as I sit here that we can keep this as a show that represents equality. And when everybody comes on here, please, if you have anything nasty to say, just hold your tongue. If you start stepping into something that maybe you shouldn't go down the path of that conversation, please hold your tongue. I don't mean to come out and make the show sour in the beginning, but I know that right now there's a topic of conversation that's going to be had, and this is our Miami Dolphins, and we're at the forefront of it. And there's going to get emotions. There's going to be emotions. There's going to be absolute not knowing how to handle your emotions. The conversations are going to get tough. The conversations are going to get rough, but they're conversations that need to be had. And if we can have them on this platform, nothing would make me happier. This is a show that represents equality. When we come on here, we all have our opinions. They're our opinions. Nothing that we've done in life, nothing that we will ever do in life will ever make this other than a place for your opinions. We do get kind of heated at times, but I'll do my best to keep it level and kind of ground everybody. And if I got to have everybody muted, I'll mute everybody, and I'll just take over and I'll handle the show myself. I'm not going to tolerate it. If you come on here and you have something stupid to say in the comments, I would wish you not to come back. And if I lose a viewer, cool. I don't care. This is not a place for hate. This is not a place for anything other than everybody's opinions get to be discussed on an open platform and an open forum for the entire world to see if they want to. So let's represent ourselves as a community in the best way possible. With that being said, please like, subscribe, share. Guys, check out all the shows we got going on. We got Tonk7 on Tuesdays. If you missed it, it was a pretty good one. Capitan and Tonk himself handled that. And then you've got myself, Mike on the mic with open mic, which is tonight, and then drop the mic both Tuesdays and Saturdays at 10 p.m. Thursdays we have Cash and Tickets. It's the most educational betting show that you'll ever find on the internet. They will teach you everything you need to know, and they're always hot. They're always winning. So if you want to make money, listen to them. And as always, please check out the Fens Tailgate. I did have my first appearance, if y'all saw it last night, on TD Fen Talk. Super cool experience for me. The fact that y'all were there and y'all supported me and y'all came out to see, and everybody that we gained from that, super incredible. I'm really excited about this summer. King Mill, let's get the likes up, build this channel as well. Appreciate it, guys. I really do. We all appreciate the likes and subscribes. Yo, we're growing like really cool, really quicker than I anticipated. Capitan's expected this from the beginning. He knows that we have good content, and I'm jumping on the train of knowing that we have good content, but at the same time, like, it's really cool for me because this is a lifelong dream of mine that I gave up on a long time ago, and now I'm living it, and it's reality, and it's awesome, and I appreciate y'all so much. I've got El Capitan and Tonk in the back. Remember, like, subscribe, share. I got people that'll tell you in the comments, like, subscribe, share. Please, guys. That's all we need. And yes, Cap for life. Everybody that's in the comments right now, listen, this is absolutely insane. 3 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, whenever it was that I said it, that we are the circus of the NFL, I had no clue the Barnum and Bailey circus was coming to town. None. And it happened. And it happened right in front of our face and right before our eyes. Like we were watching the Barnum and Bailey circus of the NFL on a massive scale. So I do want to say one, before we bring everybody on, because this is open mic night, this is not my night. This is pathetic. And I do not think that Brian Flores is attacking the Miami Dolphins. Let me say that at the beginning. But this is pathetic, guys. Absolutely pathetic. As deep as this goes, with Tom Brady being the guy that we were trying to get in trouble with, as now he's having interviews with the Dolphins for a position that doesn't involve playing. You have Harbaugh possibly taking the Minnesota job, probably looked at Miami and said, hell no, I ain't going over there. Look what y'all are about to go through. And you've got, what is Greer doing in all this? The head coaches, who's going to come? Is Mike McDaniel in his right mind going to come to the Miami Dolphins? Are we going to have an interim head coach when we fired a coach at the end of the season? Like, is it really going to happen, guys? Because right now, do you want to go to Miami? I would like to sit here and defend Miami, but I can't. And Toss Boss Ross, oh my gosh, that needs a trend because it needs to happen. The best thing that could happen, and I think Brandon the Bookie is going to try and jump on too, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but the best thing that can happen to the Miami Dolphins and to us as a fan base is it's get Ross out of here. Force his hand, make him sell, take our draft picks. Let's get somebody else at the top because it's time. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on El Cap. I'm going to bring on Tonk. And then anybody in the backstage that I don't know is there, welcome to the show. It's open mic. I'm going to hand it over and let y'all go, guys.
So I'll come out first. Thanks for being here, Culler. Thanks, Tonk. It's a bit somber. I like being right, but I don't like being right. As you guys can see, they got the pitchfork. I got the torches. I've been ready to storm the castle, okay? And I don't want to say that I seen this coming, but my first instinct when they fired Flores was absolutely scandal, and it was more of it. And, bro, it's a scandal every regime with this guy. Every regime, it's a scandal. Whether it's a coach on drugs and compromising videos, whether it's just another insane scenario of bullying that's happening to my team. What the hell kind of organization is this? How did this guy become rich? How did this happen? How did this dude become rich? It's just,
oh man.
I mean, bro, it's laughing stock doesn't put a tip on it. If we're capping this off and it's racism, I have to storm the castle. I have to. Look what you've done. Look what you've made out of my team in a state where we strive for more. We strive for better. This is Florida. This is South Florida. We are the most ethnic type of people. We love everyone. We accept. And if this type of nonsense is happening to X out what I believe to be a good coach, oh, bro. I mean, not only does Ross gotta go, I I need to know names, bro. I need to know names. I need to know what the hell is going on. What's going and I hope I hope this is only the beginning of the truth to come out, because it's been apparent to me that it's been bad, hasn't it, Dolphins fans? This ain't bad football swinging missing. We're talking about another freaking news article where now the government gets involved. We've had, special investigations on this team every 3 to 5 years where they got to send in, what's his name? The lawyer from the NFL. I can't remember his name, dude, whatever. I don't care.
Oh, that represents the players?
No, not that guy. They got this special investigator. It'll come to me in a thing.
What you're talking about.
But I mean, bro, it's too much for one fandom to bear. Like, spread this nonsense out. Culler, what about you, brother? Damn, Culler can't even sit up. He's got to hold the mic. Prepare, everyone.
Lisa
Culler
Friel?
commentary coming at you. Hard as a muh. Getting ready to happen. Found here. Culler, I got to talk to you about some stuff, too. Go
Sure
ahead,
thing.
brother.
Hey, and before you go, Culler, real 1 second. Just I want to address this in the comments. You are right, Green Rat. Miami is not connected to the racism. So
that's
let's
exactly
not get
right.
that
That's
confused,
where we're most angry right now, because now you're destroying my.
Miami's definitely
Now you're
not a
running
racist
all our
city.
names in the mud, bro, and I don't like it. Continue, Culler.
I think the first word
Easy,
I have,
just went to the next level.
if I were to only be able to use one word, it's disgusting. It's
Yes.
absolutely disgusting. Every bit of it. And I said a lot of this already. Some of these guys in chat have already heard what I've had to say about it, so I don't want to beat a dead horse. But the level of embarrassment I feel right now is just, nobody in their life, I mean, I'm sure there has been, but I would venture to say that nobody on this panel or in this chat has railed so hardly against use of the race card than I. But as everybody likes to remind us, when you see it, you'll know it.
Yeah.
And the fact of it is, there was absolutely no reason to, the word I've used the whole time is to absolutely dehumanize this man. For what goal? Now we're finding out possibly that was simply going hard on him to cover up a possible crime. I'm not even talking about the tampering.
Yes, Q.
I'm talking about the fact that if this man was offering to pay Flores money to lose games,
It's insulting to his character, dude. That's a low blow, bro.
And to cover that up, you go on this campaign to smear this guy's name that rises to the level of 1930s anti-drug ads. Okay. When I heard the stuff about Flores coming out on a regular basis, it invoked images in my head that I tried to forget for a long time, and I've tried to stop myself from thinking for a long time. Okay? It's absolutely disgusting. And for anybody that wants to double down, I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you feel about his performance as a head coach. You can say whatever you want about that. But if you want to double down, then, I mean, that's on you. And I don't want no part of you. I don't want you anywhere around me. Okay? And so that's just all I have to say about it. It's absolutely disgusting. And I refuse to stand here and watch people talk about, oh, well, is there any validity to, look, none of us were in the room.
Yeah.
We can only go by what the Dolphins front office pumps out to us into the media.
That's right.
And what they have pumped out in conjunction with people that I will not name right now that do use this type of platform to further that goal. And those people are still holding their position and doubling down on their feelings about Brian Flores.
Color, to add a little context,
They deserve what they get.
I think I said this, and I want to say it was yesterday, bro.
And if
That's
it's cancel
like, 'cause
culture, they deserve it.
It's kind of the narrative I've been pushing, and I've been rounding it out. It was either on the Flores fired episode or yesterday that, first of all, Flores can't talk. It's a billionaire. It's millions of dollars. You know there's a gag order. That's number one. Okay? So he can't talk. Number two, he's trying to get another job. And I feel in more ways than one that this other job screwing him around, they cornered this man, boxed him off, and wanted to own him. Who knows? They could have had a camera. If this is what really happened, if this comes out, and I've reserved the same way I reserved before, but I don't. This sounds more like the shit I expect to really be the truth, the real dirt, because now that Flores has gotten a legal team together and put his name on something, bro, it's his whole his whole entire career is on the line.
It ain't Crump or Clump or whatever that guy's name is either. These are real deal lawyers.
These are real deal lawyers. These are real deal accusations. It's not some movement scandal with, other things that may or may not be true. This is bad. The FBI is going to get involved immediately with this, because you're talking about potential. Dude, you're talking about throwing football games, and they bet on this shit. You're talking about a lot of trouble, and potential real jail time. And no different than the accusation that came the way of Deshaun Watson, which to me seems there's some validity there, but it's a lot of speculation and hearsay. And I don't hear, accusations when you read them are a little bit more black and white. They're more gray in that. This is black and white. He has come out and said definitively these things has happened to him, and that he's got proof. He's got text messages. You're talking about suing a bunch of billionaires.
I've seen the text messages.
This is insane, bro. It is insane.
Hey, so I don't mean to take your. I need to answer something in the comments.
Yeah. I'm trying to watch the comments. Go ahead.
So
who was it?
Q wanted me to elaborate on why I think the Rooney Rule is systemically racist. Guys like Thomas Brown, Eric Bieniemy, Jim Caldwell, Brian Flores, guys that have the credentials to be in the NFL, period, don't need you to highlight that they may be getting an interview because of a rule. I think it takes them down to where Brian Flores felt it firsthand with the New York job, where days before he even interviewed, he got a text message to the wrong Brian out of Bill Belichick. And if this is true, he got a text message and he knew going into the job that he wasn't going to get it. And they still tried to act genuine. If this happened in Denver, like he said, where the ownership showed up hungover, they were using Brian Flores to get past the Rooney Rule. And I think because there are only, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are 2 minority owners in the NFL.
I think
and
the
neither
Rooney
one of them
Rule
are
is an
African
easy
Americans.
out for the real problem, Mike.
Well, here's my deal: is the ownership. There's
the
2 minority
itself
owners.
So
well, hang on. There's two minority owners in the NFL. This is a bunch of white men and women who developed. They had to come to terms on a rule that allowed them to not be seen as racist when in essence they are. And if they're blackballing people because of their color of their skin, then the Rooney Rule was put in place to be systemically racist, because now they have an excuse not to. Now they're like, okay, well, I didn't like him because he was an African American, even though his credentials are through the roof and he well deserves of a head coaching job or just a promotion in general. And then you're interviewing them just to get past the rule when you already know you're going to hire somebody else. The way it was created, the what it stands for. I'm not the only one that thinks this, and if I'm wrong on this, please let me know, guys.
Well, I don't think you're wrong, Mike. It's your perception. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, it requires. It doesn't say that they have to be hired. It's not like affirmative action, but it just requires them to be interviewed. And I could see how abusing that rule could be systemically racist. But like, it just seemed like maybe without something in place that coaches were going to get overlooked because
So
like it
I
just
think
wasn't
I
given
think I
enough
look at it
fair
like this
chance
from both
to that.
sides.
And I don't really like the name Rooney Rule in the first place.
Well,
I think it
it's
should be
named
called
after
something else.
somebody, Rooney. But listen,
It
what
was
I'm
Art
thinking
Rooney,
here.
the owner
That's
of the
right.
Steelers, who
That's right.
suggested the rule in the first place.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So, but what I understand I think when the rule was made, the intent and the design was a good one, and by the representation African Americans have in the NFL, it's good, but it's subpar in more ways. And
Chris, real quick, kind
I
of an
think
odd
I think the
coincidence
problem.
too.
This is the problem, though, Culler, is that what we're seeing is an abuse of something that's meant to be a good thing, and maybe more than one way or another, the Rooney Rule did work because it's exposing the ones abusing it in some ways. So the systemic reasons that Mike is saying, then I understand his point. My point is that I wonder if it's working the other way where they see that they're not taken care of. I think more of what needs to have happen is a better representation beyond this point, and I applaud Brian Flores for literally more ways than one. And I hope to the Lord he gets another shot to be a coach and put in the position of power where obviously people are puppeteering him. And if they expected him to play ball with them in this and he stood to his principles, which he did, because all he said after every interview that year is, I don't care. I'm not here to tank. I'm here to win. And he won us right out of position, which I'm sure they wanted in some ways. Maybe there was some sort of, hate there because of that. I can't call it racist intent, but what I can see is that there is a good old boys club that Ross has now bought himself into, because from where I sat, I thought Ross sat on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Between him becoming another owner of before the expansion, he was a part of that, and now he's bought himself in. And this is a systemic problem now. And I wonder, what Brian Flores just said about the Denver Broncos, and the Denver Broncos owners are selling. Did you hear that? They're selling the team. Some big shit's on the way, guys. And I talked about this a lot, that this is a new world. This is a new world. We are evolving in every which way. This is a technological world, and not that we can't grow, because this is the new step. We're going to be growing to better, but we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. We can't look back at the things we did and think, okay, no one can grow or change. But from this point forward, that shit's got to go, bro. That shit's got to go. These kids are better kids. They want a better world, and it's our job to provide it. And this world is going to be a better one in so many ways. And everything has moved so much further in so many ways that now to think that this kind of shit is happening, whether it was a racist intent or not, it was an evil one. They boxed out a guy, and he ain't got enough friends around, and they've systemically made certain of it. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I have a question for you, Chris? Well, mainly for everybody, but to Chris's point, have we ever witnessed, other than maybe Adam Gase, but I think everybody in the world is in agreement on that, have we ever witnessed a white head coach who got fired, even for having the worst record in the league? Have we ever witnessed the type of smear campaign that we saw for the last 2 weeks?
Not like this, man. And no one attached their name on it, but it had
I'm not even saying
other.
Right, and I'm not even talking about like, hey, we use these kind of we evoke these kind of images because of the stuff we were saying, and it's only coincidentally because he's black that those are the wrong smears to use. Well, that got me thinking: have we ever even smeared a white guy on the way out like that to this level?
Bro,
let me give you an example. It wasn't enough to just say this, that, and the other. We've seen memes claiming that Brian Flores told the clerk at the Publix deli that he should have went to Jimmy John's.
I mean, yeah, there was a smear campaign put together like no other to run up to dehumanize him.
To say he was a bad coach, I don't get it.
Let's just rewind, and I wanted to go with Mary's plan. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and rewind 3 years, start over, bring Brian Flores in and Eric Bieniemy and call it a day. And we
So
won't
guess who just hopped in the back? Brandon the bookie. I've been waiting to hear from him. I haven't talked to him about it at all. I'm going to bring him in just a second. Go ahead, Tonk.
Yeah, go ahead, Tonk.
Go ahead, Tonk.
So, I'm just giving an example here of like head coaches that lasted even though they were shitty. Like Jason Garrett, he did not do that well at Dallas, and look how long.
Sorry, not laughing at you, buddy.
He was there.
I wanted to get to that. I wanted to further Tonk's point when he's done.
Hired Will Muschamp, who did not do that well at Rutgers. So like he did it, and when they first hired him, like that guy sucks. The Rutgers was like fucking 6 and 7. I'm like, that's who we're hiring.
Hey, he was a badass defensive coordinator in Texas.
Can I add to your point real quick, Tonk?
Add to the point, Culler.
Yeah, because I was going to say it earlier is that there's only one coach, black head coach in the league right now.
Yeah, the Steelers head coach,
Mike Tomlin.
That's right.
Let me finish real quick.
Part of it is I don't really think there's a lot of black people trying to be head coaches.
Right.
I
disagree though. That's wrong.
I was getting to that. The thing I'm
just
trying to say
educate you a little bit more, Tonk. There is. I'm not saying that everyone. What I don't want to see happen is underqualified people be put in bad positions to fail, because I can see how the puppeteers will do that just to make them fail. What I want to see is not more control, but just more control of these guys' fate in every which way. I mean, think about it like this. Just like how college football players have more control over their lives. All these, bro, I wear this jacket. You all know. I don't like these systems of man. I don't like these bureaucracies. I don't like you trying to keep people out. That shit piss El Capitan off, dude. I don't like all that, dude. I'll burn this bitch to the ground. Nobody allowed to have shit now because I don't like it.
Well, here's the thing, is that Mike Tomlin's been there for 15 years? That's the home of the Rooney Rule. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. But he's kicking ass though.
Right, but
I know that, but why Caldwell can't get an interview?
Hey, aside from that, before
but
Brandon
you
goes,
even said he has health problems.
I know that. I'm just giving context. You're right about that.
But,
I mean, no, Herm Edwards got another chance.
Context.
Like, he stayed but Herm Edwards, after he left the Jets, he stayed in, like he was on ESPN, like he stayed involved with football knowledge and stuff. That's why he got back.
Well, you're right, Tonk, and even for the Dolphins, they do have upper management positions for African Americans. What I'm getting at is that I don't want to get so bogged down in position or personnel. What I'm getting bogged down in is actual real power, where this could happen to a guy. And I don't know so much if it's a colored thing. It's what's been said. But my point is it goes deeper than racial. We're talking about haves and have nots.
I don't think what's going on.
I know, but it's the only context, because that's how it was
why
released.
would they smear a guy who has all this dirt on them?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So they couldn't run it before.
Point.
Yes,
why,
exactly.
If you paid this guy $300,000 to bomb 3 games,
hang on, Tonk. So they didn't. Tonk, they didn't. You have to listen. They didn't. When they reached out for comments and they looked out for recommendations from the team, it was all extremely positive about Brian Flores. Nothing bad was said about Brian Flores as far as what was asked for. So this went deeper as Steven, because Brandon the Boogie's about to lay into it, guys. Y'all don't understand. He's about to go ham, and I cannot wait. So I just want to preface it with this. This shows the lack of incompetence. This shows the lack of incompetence.
Hold on, Brandon.
This shows the complete incompetence of Stephen Ross. This goes so much deeper.
Why is there a commercial on?
Commercial?
Oh shit, that must be my.
Anyways, Brandon, go in, because
real quick,
Brandon, have you not heard the news?
Real quick, Brandon. To your point, Chris, what's needed is regulation. So it's not enough to say you gotta re-interview this many black people. How about what about retention? And this is why I brought up Mike Tomlin. I mean, because you don't have, when a guy's got a 10-6 and a 9-8 record,
It's not bad.
What I'm saying is, why can't there be a sub part of the Rooney Rule that says you can't fire an African American coach if he's got 2 winning seasons in a row?
No, you can't do that. That's not. Listen, I don't want to readjust the Rooney Rule.
Me neither.
Or
That's
anything
almost
like
too
that.
What I'm saying, but you see what I'm
What I
saying?
really we can't start dictating stuff because then you
Right.
get
That's
now
not what
we
I'm
get
talking about.
squirrely.
I'm
But
talking
what
about
we gotta
I'm
have
talking about fair regulation to make sure the rule is actually doing what it's supposed to do.
that
But the
the
rule isn't
abuse
just-
of the rule. I don't like
Is
that.
the
I don't
issue.
like that. And it belittles its purpose. That's the problem. And in some ways it may be outdated, but in others, as we've seen for the first time ever, someone was willing, and I think it was, who was it? It was Kahari, I think, or let me see. Yes, Kahari says they didn't believe a black guy would commit career suicide so young. He just committed career suicide because he's willing to hang. I mean, it's
It's
Full
a
of
toy
Kaepernick.
bigger than the NFL. It's not about.
it's
It's not
yes,
just about the
Brandon.
Miami
It's
Dolphins.
like Kaepernick in a way.
Hey, full of
It,
Kaepernick.
it's similar.
In a
It's
way,
similar.
it is like that. It is like that. And so if it sheds
But the
light
difference
on,
is the
I like
player has a
rebrand.
very short shelf life of being a player in the league.
Mhm.
Kaepernick committed career suicide, but he only had maybe another 5-6 years left to play. Flores could have coached for another 30 years.
Yep.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
he just put all of that and his name and his belief and his
On the
character on the
Well,
line, bro. On
and-
the
and
line.
I just saw today there were 16 coaching hires in the last 2 years. And the one black guy that got hired was the Texans coach, and he got fired after 1 season.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Why
and,
is
well,
Mike
well,
Tomlin the only one with 15 years?
Well,
Because
Yeah.
he's never had a losing
well, I was gonna
season.
say,
Yes.
honestly, can you say as far as the Texans go, I believe they,
Yes.
I don't know if they overperformed, but they definitely performed well enough that he deserved a second year. You know what I'm saying? Like, because look, he beat the Chargers. Nobody saw that coming in. You know what I'm saying? He won some games. I mean, that was a team without Deshaun Watson. That was a team without basically any real talent, and he got them to play. I mean, he did a decent job. I mean, hell, Cam Cameron went 1-15 with a better roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, he got fired too. But I'm just saying, you could see that one coming. But as far as Flores, man, it is crazy that he's doing this. The only thing is, and I've got to believe, you can't file that lawsuit against the NFL and not have some form of proof. It cannot be
Yep.
he said, she said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
listen,
he's got
I mean, it can, but I mean, it's saying that they were
There's
offering
no
him
way.
The only
$100,000.
thing that makes me
Okay,
100%
so but I just got
sure.
one.
Hold on.
I just got.
Hold on one second. The one thing that makes me certain that there is something here with this is how quick the NFL came out and 100% denied all of this right away.
Oh boy, Brandon's
They didn't-
over
they
the
didn't-
target.
They
The
didn't
drone
listen,
strike is coming.
right? Listen, they didn't come out and say, "Look, we take all accusations seriously. We're going to investigate. We're going to
Internal
look into this."
investigation.
Whatever. They didn't even play that boring, corporate BS line that you expected. They came out right away and said, "How are you so sure, NFL, that all this was not true?" I mean, it would take time first to see if that meeting on the yacht was going to take place. It
So,
would have
like,
taken time to look to see about the paid for the losses. That to me is the biggest problem I can see so far of what
Yep.
we see. It's
And
not
when
it's not the back door or on a personal yacht meeting. Listen, as bad as it may be tampering, that stuff happens.
Yeah,
It does.
hell yeah,
it happens. Listen, the NBA, they have the no tampering rule. But as soon as January 4th every year, or January 2nd every year, they're
Yeah.
supposed to be able to start free agency and start negotiations. And literally the clock strikes midnight and everybody's getting signed. Whoa,
Yep.
how did anybody talk? Because it's all done
Yep.
behind the scenes. There's
Yep.
the shady stuff. That's not the issue. But listen, I just pray. This may end up being bad. I think that
It's so
maybe
bad.
hold on,
Not
It's
maybe.
already bad.
Maybe I know, but listen, I'm saying for the Dolphins as far as a franchise, not Ross. Talking about the actual franchise.
Exactly.
Maybe they can avoid the loss of draft picks or whatever may
Death
fall
penalty
out
in
from
football.
something. Is if Ross is out, and I pray to God. Listen, Chris will attest to it. I've said for years,
bro.
years. I saw through all of Ross's BS and all the stuff they try to
He
put
looks
out.
boring as hell as a person.
Well, I mean, yeah,
he's
the
too
kind
busy scheming, bro. He's too
Yeah.
busy
So
scheming.
hold on.
he's the guy that
So,
gets excited for missionary.
I'm not gonna say.
You know, like he's just very boring.
I'm not gonna
He's the
say
guy who
whether-
gets
whether
excited
this is
for
true or false.
missionary.
So like, why? But who benefits from losing football games unless you're trying to get draft picks? And why would
You're trying to
say-
get Joe Burrow. They're
and
trying
why
to get
would
Joe
you
Burrow.
say Joe Burrow was already selected
The
2
problem-
years
No,
ago.
no.
No,
If they would have lost
no,
every
this
game,
is
they would have gotten
2019.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that was
the
that-
first
yeah.
Oh,
year.
that's right.
years
That's right.
ago.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
hold on.
They're not trying to lose every game. This
Tonk,
year.
$100,000
the
for
100,000
every
was
loss?
the Tonk was 100,000. That those payments to lose was in the 2019
2019
Yeah, it was
season.
not this past
So
season.
So
that
it
was-
was
that
to
was
get the
when
number
Burrow
one
was
pick
10 years
last
ago.
year.
That's
I
when it
see that's
happened.
happening a lot on.
2019.
I see that's
And
happening
this-
a lot in a couple other places. There are people thinking this is all happening, just happened.
Like, just
Yes.
okay.
There's
okay.
some
Hold on.
things that just happened.
It does say
the
2019 on here.
the
You're
collusion
right.
that he's claiming.
Okay,
Hold
so
on, hold
okay,
on,
so
hold on.
this is an attempt to tank.
Yes.
That was
Yes,
that,
when
listen,
we
that
were
was the game
tanking.
plan. We all knew it. It was kind of an unwritten, unspoken thing, but everybody was on board. Even the owner, Greer. That's why we traded Tunzel. That's why we got rid of Fitzpatrick. Well, not
They were
necessarily.
signing guys
Fitzpatrick
off
was
the
separate.
couch, starting them.
Dude, they
in the
were
middle of
working
the
as, like,
season.
insurance agents, like 2 months.
I mean,
like
but
2
why
months
didn't
Hey,
he
before they
leave
hey,
started.
then?
Kurt Warner was a
Listen.
grocery guy.
The
Why
problem
didn't
I
he
have,
leave
hold
then?
on. The problem I have with the whole thing, and Ross also, which also says he's a terrible owner, and he made the hire of Flores. My thing is, look, I was on board. I screamed for years. Chris will also back this up. Well before the 19th season, I said tank it, rip
Tank,
it all
blow
apart.
it up.
I was
Brandon's
always
like,
for it.
blow it up. There's nothing to
Chris
be
was like, you
salvaged.
can't
Blow
do
it up.
that. Well, listen, I was a part of that. And look, and once they all got on board, when I'm saying all, I'm talking about Flores, or not
Coach,
Flores,
everything.
Greer, you know, Ross,
Marvin
everybody.
Allen,
everybody knew that-
Caldwell, everything.
So
it
the
was a
issue
dream
is-
team.
They knew what they wanted, right? Everybody was on board. So his job is to go find somebody, to find a coach. Look, when you interview a coach, you say, look, sit down, look, this is our plan. This is our 5-year. That's also another reason why Flores got a 5th year guaranteed when most coaches only got 4 at the time, because the first year, everybody knew what it was. You didn't have to say you got to lose, but listen, he was a terrible owner because, look, he didn't find a guy that understood the plan. I was cool with the plan. I was good with it.
I mean, I don't
But
really
he
see
found
it.
it. He hired a guy. Look, he should have had a guy come in and say, "Look, I'm going to give you an extra year. You still got 4
He
years
should have
to
hired
do
an
it.
idiot.
I'm going to
and
pay
then
you for
let
5."
him be
No,
an
no.
idiot.
No, he should have got somebody that saw the vision that they wanted to do. Was, look, this first year,
Exactly.
I'm hiring you. The vision is, look, we're going to be bad. We're going to be epically bad. I want to be so bad that we're not even in competition with anybody for the first pick, because we need a quarterback. And without a quarterback, you can't do anything in this league. And you know what? He went out and hired Flores, which only thing he ever wanted was to win as many games as possible, which is admirable. That's what everybody wants in a coach. However, sometimes you sacrifice the long-term gains for a short-term, week-by-week win, and that was the problem. But him as an owner,
But also,
hired
Brandon,
that
to
guy.
add context,
He didn't talk, and when he hired his coach, they weren't on the same page from day one on that.
Yep. But I liked that. I liked
Yeah,
that
outside the
about
cube.
him. I respected that. I was like, you know what? Flores is a badass. You can't even wreck him.
That's
But
you know what I'm
also,
saying?
that
So-
also, well,
So
real
here's the
quick,
deal.
that also is a good answer
So, but
for
why
Tonk's
would he
question.
stay around then?
That's
Why
what I'm
wouldn't
saying.
he
That's
just
the
leave
Well,
answer
then?
here's
to Tonk's
okay.
question,
Tonk,
because
Tonk,
he has
I'm going to give you the answer
self-respect.
why, and then I want to throw it to Mike and Big John Studs jumping in. Mike,
But I have a
Tonk,
couple other
but Tonk,
things I'd
here's
like to
the
say
deal.
too.
Those head coaching positions for African Americans aren't a dime a dozen. They're like a 1 in a million shot, and that's the
Mhm.
point that Culler's kind of making. That we look and see Tomlin. They took the shot on him up there. Why is this not happening more with more consistency
no, okay, but
in a way? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Let me.
And Big
Okay,
John,
so
what's up,
yeah, I
brother?
need to. What up, Big John? So there's a couple things I want to answer. First of all, Q asked back, a little bit earlier about if Mike Tomlin lost or was on the market, why would he get a job, or would he get a job, and why? I said yes, and the reason why is because of the model of consistency. He's done it. He did get his opportunity. He seized his opportunity, and he did what most great coaches do. He won, so he gets. I don't think Mike Tomlin would be on the occasion where he wouldn't. There wouldn't be any question about his credentials. But the reason I think so. There's an argument to be had.
He also doesn't have the Steelers smearing his name when he goes.
Yes, I know. But, I know. Q, I'm telling you, Mike Tomlin's phenomenal. He's the model of consistency. He has Super Bowl championships. He has
he's been there
I think
3
they went
times.
how many years
guys,
with
hit
10
that
wins in a
like
row?
button, y'all.
But here's the deal. So the reason I got to give, there's an argument that has to be had, and I want to state it here, is that, and it's not my argument, but it has to be had, is Stephen Ross he made me the most brilliant person to ever do this. This literally may be the most brilliant person to ever do this, because he cannot be questioned for his effort to build a winner. Whether he was doing it dirty, whether he was doing it under the table, whatever he did, he was trying. He wanted to win. He was doing everything he possibly could to win without making the picks himself, because he's, maybe he's not a football guy after all. But, you have to look at Stephen Ross. He tried. He 100% tried to win. Yeah. He just failed. And what I think this says about Flores, yes, and what I think this says about Flores on the way out is that his loyalty to the job, to the opportunity he was given, is why he stayed quiet. When he left to do this now, and like we've stated, sacrifice his entire career going forward, possibly, he's still showing that he's the model of consistency. He's a winner. He's not dirty. He doesn't participate in cheating. His character, if anything, has grown to an ultimate level, because if this is all true, he stood to his ground, and he didn't do what was against his morals and what was against his code of conduct. And
again,
so I give him credit.
What I loved about him in season 1. Big John, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it, John.
Listen, we got to get Mike some AirPods.
Hold on, Brandon. Man. Hold on, Brandon. Let John get in. And there's a lot of people backstage, so we're gonna rotate guys in. As Mike knows, sorry, Mike, I don't want to tell you how to run your program, buddy, but I'm letting you know there's a bunch backstage. I put it in the private chat for you.
Let's rotate it. Yeah, let's rotate.
Yeah, we're gonna rotate guys in. Go ahead, John.
All right, well, you guys tell me what part you want me to answer, because I just jumped on and missed the beginning of your show, so I'm not going to make believe I know what you're asking me.
So, John,
I just want to know. Hang on. Let me ask him. So, Big John, I just want to know, where are you right now after hearing everything that's come out? Where are you on the Miami Dolphins right now? How do you feel? Are you emotional? Are you pissed? What's going on?
All right. First of all, this goes out to every Dolphins fan who's been sitting here basically bashing Stephen Ross, saying he's not trying. First of all, how do I put this without, well, this is right. This is past 10 o'clock. Yeah, fuck this. All right, so here we go. Get ready. That's right, get ready, Capitan. Here it comes, bro. All right, basically, all right, for what he did in 2019, all right, if that's what he did, he's a piece of shit, okay? As an owner, as a person. Now, that goes as far as him tanking games, okay? Now, let's not act like nobody knew we were tanking, because the movement tanking for Tua didn't start out of the blue, okay? We all saw, after getting our asses handed to us by Baltimore, 103 to, was it 0 or -0 or whatever the fuck the ass whooping was, you could tell, they were tanking. Now, to those who sit there and say, oh, well, Stephen Ross, he tried to get Tom Brady and he went on a yacht and all other shit. Listen, everybody says, and I'll give credit to Bob Kraft, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Listen, I got you on that, bro. Wait, I said that too.
Hey, real quick. Jorge Luis Ochoa. Objectivity is taking Ross's words for what they are. And he said he was not fired for his job performance. So you're the one not being objective. And that's all I'm going to
Anyways, go ahead, Big John.
What are we laughing at? Did I say something funny?
No,
we're laughing. No. It's
you're just a likable guy, man.
The comments are coming in the thing.
Listen, okay.
Big John.
Okay, so
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead. Ask me the question.
So
What are you gonna say?
I wonder about this. Is Jesse Davis Flores's guy or is he Ross's guy? How much scandal are we putting
Excellent
that
question.
actually happened that Ross has been blamed or is blaming on Flo that is actually Ross?
All right.
We all know it wasn't
Let's-
it wasn't, they weren't looking at Deshaun Watson because Ross wasn't talking to the owner of the NFL, the commissioner, about it. He's the real thing, and he lays out people on the chopping block. And the deal is this. When I heard what happened with Flores, I could see the possibility, but the character and the way I saw the blow up, it's so unbecoming to what I thought he would have done that two things happened. One, it's a lie, or two, he was pushed to that. And it had nothing to do with him snapping because he's a madman.
Or
it has to
character or anything.
That's it. It has to do with this organization's inability to get this tyrant under control that is lopping heads off one at a time. And it's a potential. That's all I got to say.
Now, with all that being said, and all the stuff he did in 2019 and trying to get Tom Brady and tampering, which we now know is true because it's been proven based on NFL sources, that is one thing. And I'll give Flores credit for coming out, risking his job, being an African-American. I said from the beginning, an African-American coach and GM doesn't happen. It's a rarity. They don't get many opportunities, so I can understand why he kept quiet and stuck to his guns, okay? That all has nothing, and I'm going to say it again, that has nothing to do, in my opinion, with what he did this year, wanting Deshaun Watson, trying to strong-arm the organization in a way to get what he wanted. Now, if I was Stephen Ross and I knew that he had this in his back pocket, okay, if I'm Stephen Ross, I would have given in. I don't know why you fire the man when you know he could potentially make you have to sell the team.
Give him everything.
Yeah.
Make him happier than you've ever made anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring in Kahari on the conversation.
I got a question for y'all.
Go ahead, Tom.
And I'm not we're gonna see how this pans out with Flores and tanking and all that stuff, but just from what I see you guys discussing and talking about, it seems like you believe 100% everything Brian Flores is saying, but you don't have it you've seen a text message.
That's not what.
It's just corroboration to what's been said before.
But hold on a second. But you don't want to believe anything.
Wait.
You don't want to believe anything.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
About Deshaun Watson.
Tom.
Hold on.
He doesn't. Go ahead.
There's nothing here that I've said that says that I believe what Brian Flores said. Okay. As a matter of fact, like I just said, I said if it is proven to be true, what happened in 2019, Stephen Ross is a piece of shit, in my opinion. If you're telling him to tank,
trying to sell,
bribing him, say it. He was bribing him.
Okay, yeah. If you're bribing him, then that to me is fucked up. Now, I'm not gonna blame Stephen Ross for trying to go to get Tom Brady when you got Bob Kraft over here sleeping with strippers and deflating footballs. Okay.
Is there a reason they couldn't just follow the rules and wait till he was off contract with the Patriots?
Dude. Nobody follows the rules, man. And I get that, but you tried to get a man to change what he believes in. You tested a man's code, bro.
So all this stuff that is happening, we need more. There's individual owners of teams should start being phased out. We should start having multiple people.
Ooh, I like
be
that.
owners of
because then there's more accountability.
Then shit won't fucking
there's more
happen.
accountability.
And then you give if we have then,
hey, listen, I like that idea.
Then
doesn't Green Bay own the team? Doesn't the city of Green Bay?
But I think what Tonk is suggesting is that at the very least there should be
a collaboration.
There should be like 4 owners all with 25% of ownership.
I like that. And you know what though?
Stephen Ross did
sell percentages
with the Nets.
Yeah, I like one in a sense because then I know who to bitch about, and
Well,
make a
not
good
just that.
hashtag of that.
Because
Hashtag
just
toss
start
Hey,
it
hang
out.
on, hang on.
This
Hey,
whole
I want to answer that
situation-
directly. Tonk,
on,
I'm going to
Mike.
answer that directly. Yeah, I'm going to answer that directly, Tonk. In Texas, we have Ray Davis and Bob Simpson. And they've had all this money to spend for years and years and years and never spent it because one of them was going through this crazy divorce and he didn't want to get into it. And so because one of them didn't want to, the other one just was like, okay, well, we're not going to do it. Where if you have one owner and they're going through that shit, usually they're going to hand over the team or hand over the decisions to somebody else, and then somebody else is going to take care of it. Or if an owner gets called out of the country to be a representative for Donald Trump, then the next in line gets to take over the team and run it like the Jets. And so it's multiple owners for my favorite team. I don't like it. I think it's terrible because
I hate it.
one of them. Yeah, I don't like it. It's
Well,
just
then
not
there's
good.
too many
What up,
cooks in the
Kari?
kitchen.
Yeah,
Hey, what's
Kari.
up,
brother?
Hey, what's
Yo,
going on,
man.
fellas? Man, what a
Appreciate you
mess.
coming
Going,
first
Kari?
time, bro.
You
Yeah.
look
What's
a lot
up, what's
better
up?
than I thought you were gonna look, man.
Hey, man, like I said, beauty fades slowly. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that hat.
That's
No
a
doubt.
cool hat, bro. That's a cool hat.
Oh yeah, special order, new era. You know what I mean? But
Got you.
yo, hey, check this. I'm Big John Stud. I was probably your worst critic until today. I stand by everything you just said.
He
about
has that
Ross
ability
and about the
sometimes,
setup.
man.
And listen up.
Hey, just before you, don't worry about it, man. I'm used to being like I told Chris privately. I'm an acquired taste, bro. You don't
Oh
have
my
to love
god,
me, bro.
bro.
Yo,
I love him. He's the hardest man on earth to argue with, and I love it, bro. I could talk,
but
to
I
John.
hate his advocacy for Tua, man. I mean, we can argue all day on that. But here today, you are 100% correct, and I'm in your camp. But I mean, what a mess, man! What a mess. This has the potential to become something beyond what I think any
Dude,
of us
I'm worried
realize
about.
right now.
I'm worried
But
about the whole picks and everything. Like I'm worried about all of it.
Exactly. But I wanted to bring up one thing too. Does this? Because Mike Florio has reported that some of what we believed about how close Flores was to the Watson thing was always wrong to begin with. So we really need to now look back at who was compelling Watson.
I always believed it was the owner. I always believed it was the owner.
Exactly. And then the thing Culler has said over the last week, I've got to give you a lot of props, Culler, because you reminded me of the way he backstepped Sperano 10 years ago. And then what was the second thing you brought up? You brought up how Singletary was almost set up almost the same way as well.
And so who replaced Singletary?
You mean the
John
head
Harbaugh,
coach, Mike
Jim
Singletary?
Harbaugh, exactly.
Jim Harbaugh,
John
yep.
Harbaugh. So I mean, when you can start to connect these dots, man.
But do you
it's
think
not-
Mike Singletary was doing a good job?
Yeah, I think he motivated those guys to play
He built
hard.
the team that we
Yeah, he
just
built
watched
the
in the NFC Championship game yesterday
And-
or
and let me-
Sunday.
And let me admit this
There's a little bit of
That was a
80%
long
of it.
time ago, he was
80% of
the
it.
yeah, but we
Tom.
got it. This is the
know.
data we're forming.
That
Talk.
was
Go ahead,
Caps
Kari.
last year. It wasn't that long ago.
Another anecdote to that is the whole Dungy to Gruden relationship too. How Gruden got a lot of credit for the Bucks on the team.
No, I
that Dungy
totally
built.
give credit to Dungy
Yeah,
for that.
Dungy
So
built.
I'm just saying
Gruden
this is
gave
a
him
long,
shit.
but this is a long-standing narrative that a lot of some other fans from perhaps my perspective, you know what I mean, might be a little bit more sensitive to and bring up more readily. Now I don't want to necessarily go there because I've already been kicked off a Reasons show.
No, man, we
Oh,
want
earlier.
your perspective.
I want your
We want your
opinion,
perspective.
Kari.
We don't
Please
kick
give me
people
some
off,
perspective.
Like, I'm
Well,
glad you
yeah,
came
I
on.
AB is still in the chat. We don't
I
kick
know.
people
I
off
don't
here,
kick
man.
people off, bro.
Yeah.
I can.
And the reason I'm
you
showing
know,
my face is because I got accused of being a troll on that show. I'm no troll. I'm from down south Miami, Florida City, Homestead, and
Nice.
so I'm real. Okay. Now we
Yeah.
may not always agree on
Pause that
everything.
real quick. Pause. Hey, Kari, you know what? We can actually have a conversation over a beer, bro. I live like 10 minutes from you. Bro.
Let's do it.
You know,
Hey,
you know,
Tom,
you know what I'm
Look
saying?
at the
Hey,
Finn's
hey,
tailgate party that
look at the
never
Finns
stops.
love
Right
I
there,
just wanted
Mike.
to-
Look at this, bro. Beautiful.
I just want to clarify something I just said to Tonk. If it wasn't Caps last year, so regardless, I think the tank was already in place with Singletary. Shanahan walked into a situation where the table was already cleared. You know what I mean? By Mike Singletary, at the very least, is what I'm saying. I don't remember the
Singletary-
exact details in
Hold
my
on.
head of when happened what. But
So I remember Mike Singletary being the head coach before Harbaugh.
Right.
So he was the head coach after Harbaugh?
No, that was
No, he
Shady.
was
they're
before
talking
Harbaugh.
about- they're
What we're
talking about
saying
the
is he
time.
laid out, he cleared the for
So then,
Oh, Color's internet's acting
Well,
up.
listen,
when he was told, "Hey, you're going to be the guy." You see him just sort of like we hired Flores.
I
But
just,
that's not-
I
that's
just
nothing
saw,
to
I
do with
just
And
the
now
saw,
role right
Harbaugh's
now.
on the table. You know what I mean?
Hey,
hold on,
Color,
guys.
Color,
I just
Color, you're
saw
skipping,
on one of
dog.
the comments.
Color,
Sorry about that. Let me
Color,
check.
you're being attacked
What do
by
you say,
V for
Brendan?
Vendetta. You need to relog.
Yeah, bro, the V for Vendetta's coming back. No, I haven't seen it
Listen.
since, dude. I'm telling you, it's all good. I'm gonna since Color dropped
I
out,
just
I'm gonna
saw-
bring in MC next. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, I was going to say, I just saw in one of the comments you popped up a minute ago. It said, bye to all the Tua haters. Say hello to all the Ross haters or whatever. I said it on the show a couple weeks ago. I said, look, the argument over Tua is completely irrelevant. I was tired of arguing it. Everybody knows where I stand with him. I've said it well before we drafted him. I said it when he was in college. He wouldn't work in the pros. It wasn't going to work. I didn't want to beat a dead horse. I said the problem lied with Ross. This was well before all this came out today. I've been saying it and all that stuff. And I just saw everybody starting to connect the dots, obviously, with the Harbaugh to Miami thing. Now, I am a little curious. I just saw a moment ago, it came across that a 5-star Michigan recruit just said that Harbaugh told him directly that if an NFL job comes,
He's
he
out.
would probably leave. He said he would probably leave.
Can I say
Is
something
that-
on that real quick? I
Go
want to
ahead,
say something
man.
on that real quick,
So-
Brandon. Is that so? This is perfect
hold on.
timing. Oh, I was going
You're
to
breaking
say.
up,
I was
Brandon.
just-
Hold on.
Yeah, you're breaking up. But go ahead. I was just going to say this is perfect timing to sell all the new recruits on the assistant coaches and get them confident in the assistant coaches, and then say peace.
I think I gave
Well, I
Brandon
was
my
gonna-
internet cooties.
Give me.
Yeah, right. Am
I
I
don't wanna
out?
cut
Can
off
y'all hear
anybody.
me?
No, you're good.
Yeah,
now,
you're
Brandon.
good, Brandon. Go
Okay.
ahead.
But yeah, I was saying, like, look, as far as the Harbaugh thing, the only thing that kind of has me wondering now is if he's still going to be coming to Miami, right? If that's what everybody thinks, nobody's really taking the Viking things very serious. He's
Actually,
not going to
everybody here
Houston.
thinks Harbaugh's not coming,
Trying to-
Brandon. It's only us
Good.
around here that
Well,
are certain.
because my issue was, look, if he does end up coming to Miami, I mean, does anybody really think that maybe Ross, if all this stuff does come out, there's text messages or wire
Certainty,
transfers
picture.
to Flores' bank, something. If there's more that comes out and they force Ross out, well, first of all, Ross is getting old. He's getting up there in age. He's already picked his successor to take over, right? So he's already kind of halfway in, halfway out. Would that change if they go with a Harbaugh or whoever they end up getting head coach? If we end up
Okay.
getting a new owner,
I think that's
is
the
this
only
gonna
way out of
change
this right
everybody's
now.
opinion on?
I'm trying
Go ahead,
to
John.
answer your question. Listen. I don't think based on based on what I know. I'm gonna leave it there. Based on what I know, I do not think. Okay, I have about a 95 to 5% chance says Harbaugh does not come over here. Now figure this out. Think about let's think logically instead of with our hearts. Let's think with our head real quick. All right. If you're Stephen Ross and you're going through this issue right now, if you hire Jim Harbaugh, you're gonna look like total ass. Okay, you might be on the way out. The NFL, if this comes out that it's true, they might make you sell the team. So if you're on this issue and they sell the team, Jim Harbaugh's not going to come here because the main guy who wanted you here is gone.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
you know what,
on
guys?
On top of that, tomorrow's National Recruiting Day, and he's going to go visit Minnesota. Okay, I don't think Stephen Ross is having a great relationship with John Harbaugh right now, considering the fact that the Miami Dolphins are the side bitch, and Michigan has always been his wife. All right, and he'll do anything for Michigan.
I've said that.
So
Yeah, and
so-
at the end of the day,
He's always gonna treat and always has treated Michigan
So
as
Brandon,
his first love.
Brandon,
I said
Stephen
it
Ross?
before.
I want to respond. I want to
Yeah,
respond
Stephen
real
Ross.
quick, and I want to hear a little bit from MC. But you know what? I think if Ross is losing his job
Cap
and
trying to
there's a
run my
new,
show.
is there? I know. I'm sorry, but I was just responding. I think that this would be more appealing to Harbaugh in the fact that he comes in and he
And
owns
he's
the
got
team. He's got all the power.
All the power.
He does have more
All of
leverage.
That's
it.
exactly.
He's
Wait,
got
wait, wait.
all the
That's
power.
exactly
The new
why-
owner ain't
until-
gonna do nothing.
Time out. Listen. That's the reason why he won't come. Listen, that's the reason why
You're
he
telling
won't.
me Jim Harbaugh don't want power?
Listen.
That's why he
You're
left.
not listening. You're not letting me talk. Let me finish.
Go ahead, John.
The
Sorry
reason
about
why
that.
he wouldn't come is because Chris Greer is not gonna hire somebody who he knows can get over his head and get him fired.
But
You're
this
not
kid
gonna
doesn't
hire
get
somebody
Ross'
who's gonna fire you. You're
Yeah,
not gonna do it.
that's a good way to
Greer
lose
too?
your job
But you
anyhow,
don't think they're
though,
gonna get
bro.
rid of Greer too? You don't think
That's
they'll
a
get
good
rid of
way to
Greer
lose your
too?
job
Because
Yeah,
anyhow.
if I'm
Of
Harbaugh,
course.
I
I'm
think
gonna-
I think this
if I'm
scandal
Harbaugh,
is gonna. I think this scandal is going to cost Chris Greer's his job.
I think Greer's out.
I really do.
I think he's out.
Maybe,
I think
potentially.
after the last few years, I've finally come around. I've been saying that Greer's going to be fired. I've said, but the
Chris
fact
Greer's
that he
smart.
survived,
Chris
I
Greer ain't
don't
going
think
nowhere.
anything. I don't think anything.
He might be the owner.
Chris
He
Greer is the
listen. He
slickest guy
might
in the
be.
room, bro.
I don't. Dude,
if
unless
Harbaugh
Greer,
wants the job,
unless
he now
Greer's-
has the ability to call the shots and call get Greer out of there if that's
First
what he
of-
wants.
In
Listen,
more ways than
short
Chris
of-
Greer's gonna.
Greer-
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, I was gonna say, look, I finally came to the realization that nobody's job on this planet or position is safer than Greer. Obviously, even more than Ross's right now. I think Greer is untouchable. I don't know if he's got secret photos of everybody's, everybody's
His
old lady
family-
getting finger banged or something. I have no clue. But he
Yeah.
is
If
a
Harbaugh don't come in there and change that, if
The-
anything,
because
The
Chris
Greer
Greer will
family,
own
the
it.
Greer family is like Patriots lore.
yeah, but
I mean,
I
they,
just
you know what I mean?
if you go
Yeah.
off of just Greer's resume, there's enough there that you should at least
It's his
question
father. His father
It-
is loved by New England, like adored. Bobby Greer
And
has like
that
a
was
long
the other thing I
history
wanted to
with him.
say. I started
why is
thinking
New
about it.
England
We're
running
talking
the
about
whole
Flores's.
AFC East, bro? I'm over it.
The one thing I was going to say, we talked earlier about, this is career suicide for Flores, right? And now the past few minutes, I've sat here and started thinking a little more about it. I'm not so sure, even with this lawsuit, and I'm going to tell you why. Second of all, the one job or one place he could always go back to is the Patriots. The person who runs that franchise is Belichick, which is as safe as a job comes. He is the GM. He's everything. Nobody has to sign off on it except Kraft. And Kraft cannot do anything. He could not force Belichick out. He can't do anything. And look, Belichick don't give a damn. He'll do what he wants. And Kraft really doesn't care either.
But
because
Belichick's
Kraft,
by proxy tied to this scandal right now. Who knows where he's going to get blown up in this thing?
yeah, and I
because
have
it was
a hard
him.
time. I have a hard time believing he accidentally sent the wrong text out.
Right.
I
Bro,
think
what a
that he
poor
planted.
excuse.
He planted this seed to give Flores this jump off point to do this.
Oh,
And,
I don't
first
doubt
of
it.
all, hold on.
Oh
and
my
first of all,
God, bro!
how-
I never even thought about that.
he planted the seed and gave this legs to take off. He can go back to New England if he wants. And second of all, how douchey is it that Bill Belichick signs all of his texts with BB for Bill Belichick?
Oh, I thought the same
Does
thing.
that?
I'm glad you asked that, Brandon. I'm glad you asked that. I was thinking the same thing. How cringe, man.
You know what? I'm BB. I'm Brandon the bookie.
I
I'm
disagree with you,
BB.
Brandon.
Hey, so,
Brandon.
I want to
I
get to
just,
MC.
Yeah.
okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, hang
I
on,
was just
Corey.
gonna-
Hang on 1 second.
Okay,
Hold
okay,
your thought.
go ahead.
I'm going to get MC. He just jumped on. I'm going to get MC talking a little bit.
Yo, what's up,
But-
y'all? How we doing?
What's up,
What's
MC?
going on,
What's up,
MC?
man?
What up?
So I'm just gonna bring up something that Big John kind of said and Batman in the Fanatic show kind of said earlier today. So back about the 2019, when Stephen Ross said, "I'll give you $100,000 for every game you lose," and they kind of won most of them. If I'm right, I think I'm right.
They won enough to not get what they wanted. What the reason
Sure.
for him paying for the
Second-
losses? That's for
Okay,
sure.
there you go.
Second of all, he should have never had to say that, though, because look, he did say that when he gave Flores a 5-year guarantee contract when every other coach that year got a 4-year. Everybody got a 4-year. That was your $100,000 plus. He got paid $400,000 a game to throw him for that first year. But he didn't
but
take
that's
the
not
bait.
what
he-
He did a
he
bad
didn't take
job
the bait.
betting it.
Let
he
him
didn't take
finish.
the bait, bro.
And
Continue,
let him
MC.
finish.
Continue, MC.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And now this is where Batman comes in handy. He was telling us about just forget about the ownership, the managers. Think about the people who are paying the money to go to these games to apparently just see them lose.
You're about to
I
get a
was on
class
board.
action suit from the fans. Watch. Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Damn
Like,
right.
Am I
They should
hold on?
get-
Am I
Come on,
in the
guys,
minority here? Were we not all on board with that 29 season?
No, we weren't.
Yeah, you're
with it
the
being
only
a tank?
trucker.
No,
You're
we
the
weren't.
I
minority.
guess so.
They'll get a refund from that 2019. If they
Listen,
see
that's the
them.
conflation of fantasy football with real football. A lot of that fantasy football belief system has creeped in here. This whole idea of tanking on the football field is impossible. It's impossible. You can't play football anything less than 100%.
You'll get half
Preach
your
it.
team
I-
hurt.
Preach
I
it.
got dudes
I-
that
I-
are injured
I
and
can tell
hurt.
you. I can tell you.
Yeah, Kerry,
I can tell you
exactly.
how.
Kari, you can't because that's literally making guys that even the guys that got their shot, that's their only shot. They're gonna
Well, the
give their
veterans.
all, bro.
No,
They're
that's
gonna give their
hold on, hold
all.
on.
I can tell you
Hold
how
on,
though. I
one
can tell you
second.
how
I'm
you can
gonna.
tank.
Can I hold on? Yes, let me defend my point. I'm not saying to go out there and drop passes on purpose and run the wrong routes, and that's not what I mean by tanking. Tanking was a systematic thing from the top down that we tried putting out not only the worst possible roster we could. We got rid of all the great players. I want all
Lingo.
those guys. You're talking about, hold on, these players go out there to play their hardest. Yes. So put guys out there that are clearly under talented that won't be able to live up to it and let them all play their hardest. And maybe they're playing so hard they think they can get a job next year somewhere else whenever
Well,
they're
that's kind
done.
of what happened, but the coach coached so well, he took him past the
So
points.
right, and so that
Can I
makes
say
us a
something?
minor league farm system, basically.
Yeah,
now
hey,
for the
hang
problem
on,
coach
I wanna
is
get to-
The problem was
Go ahead.
is Greer
Go
brought
ahead,
in
Mike, run it up.
Fitzpatrick.
All right, Brandon, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my
on.
best
All right,
to
so-
mute people.
Yeah, so hang on. I want to hear from Tony first because he's backstage the longest. If Cube's still back there, I want to bring him on too. And then Batman, and then we're gonna get back around to Brandon the Bookie because I think it's gonna be on what you just talked about. And then I'll rotate and get everybody. When I feel like you got a good thought, if you want to put your hand up, I'll got a mental lockdown in here, so I'll keep you on the track. So Tony,
this is what I want to say. I feel that, to me, I think Flores is calling the hypocrisy of this Rooney Rule. I think this Rooney Rule is a complete joke. It just forces franchises who are, I'm not saying racist, to force them to hire or interview minority coaches that don't really want to hire, to interview minority coaches and stuff like that. I'm not calling the Giants owner racist. I'm just saying it forces these owners, these white owners that don't want to be interviewing these coaches,
Harbaugh
to
just signed
interview
with
them. And
Minnesota.
I feel
It's official.
what?
I'll believe it when I
Harbaugh?
see him. I'll believe it when I see him at the podium.
Yeah,
Mike.
Harbaugh just signed with Minnesota.
and-
It's official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
And also, honestly, I felt with this Rooney Rule, I felt the NFL's heart was in the right place, but they implement it the wrong way. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. Batman, you want to respond or you want to let Kari respond because he got his hand up?
I wanted to say this. Hey, thank you for having me on, guys. Hey, by the way, everybody looks sharp, but Mike, you look sharp as hell, man. But real
Appreciate
quick,
you, Bubba.
wanted to say this. Obviously, it's been a roller coaster of emotions all day, obviously, and there's a lot of things going on, and a lot of things haven't come to light, and we're gonna see some of that tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. But my thing is, I think it was Kerry. Am I saying it right, Kerry? He was talking
It's
about
Kari, but it's
Kari.
cool, whatever.
Kari.
No.
Yeah.
I want to address you the right way. So you
I
said
appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
there is no way that a team could actually make it difficult to day and age to tank, right? But I mean, like Mike was touching on the subject. Once you start getting rid of talent, I know you were trying to get picks, but you got rid of Tannehill for a bag of cookies. I think he was like a 7th rounder. I know he was under contract, so you're trying to get rid of the contract. You get rid of Minka for a 27th overall pick. He's a star player, potential star player. You get rid of him for nothing. And then you put Jesse Davis on your line. You put all these guys, this garbage line. You got 4 OCs in 3 years. It's just like a lot of things start to add up. And now you're thinking, okay, now was it? My thing is, if that actually came to fruition as far as what he asked Flores to do, and Flores at the beginning, because that's his boss, he just got the job, let me abide to my boss, So we start losing games. And I remember clearly, if you don't want to call a tank job, do you guys remember that Pittsburgh Steelers game that we played? That we were up and I think they
the
scored.
all-out
They
blitz.
It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And it felt like a tank. And things like that. And towards the end of the season, a lot of the players started playing together. Maybe they were tired of this. And the players said, you know what, we ain't losing no more. Because we started 0-7 that year. 0-7.
All right, Brandon, you ever respond? Oh, go ahead, Gio. Sorry, Batman, my bad.
No, that was it.
Okay. I was just going to see if Brandon wanted to respond real quick.
Yeah, no, I'll respond to that. Batman, I don't disagree with that at all. I think structurally the approach was always to tank, from especially the higher up you go in the organization. And I agree with you. Even some of the discussions with Flores initially may have been, are you on board with this? And that the team, the players themselves, may have dictated the direction that the team ended up going in. But again, at that point, I think there's a difference. There's a disconnect between the motivations and the goals. Oh, I'm sorry. Of the
No. I was just letting you know. After
No.
You can't see me.
I can't see him, so he's making sure.
You can't see me. I'm just letting you know.
I'm sensitive after pissing off Larry and getting kicked
Nah,
off.
you good here.
You good here. I didn't get to give you my little intro. Hold your thought. I just got to give you my little intro. When you come to open mic, bro, this is a forum for whatever you want to talk about. It may get heated, but at the end of the day, it's all about love. That's what I want. That's what I.
Yeah, a lot of people hate my opinions.
It's after 10 o'clock. This is the adult stream
Like I said,
right here. Dolphin stream.
I've been sitting back and listening to all of these shows for months and never, I was never compelled to jump in until this week. And then this thing happened. So, but again, Batman, everything you've explained is plausible. My only point here is that this is where the motivations of a meddling owner, Ross and Greer, is going to always conflict with football people. Football people, once the winning starts, how can you tell players who have started the process of winning to stop? You know what I mean? You can try to call plays,
you can't.
And a quarterback who wants to win will ignore you. That's what Marino did for years. If he didn't like the play, he's all been out of that bullshit.
Hang on, Brandon. Culler is next. That's
it. That's all I got to say.
I also wanted to clarify what we were talking about because I understand that we all feel that everybody was on board with tanking. Mm-hmm. But there are 83,000 fans in that stadium, okay? And I'm pretty sure that half of them had no clue what's going on the ins and outs of this organization. Yep. They're just fans. So when we were talking about the class action suit for the fans, they can tank upstairs all they want. The players could even be on board with it. But when they're out there advertising to their fans, come buy a $300 ticket, that fan is expecting a product that can win.
False advertising.
And if they had no intention and even set it up to not be able to win, where's our refunds on that?
The issue. Hold on. Let me just say what I wanted to say really quick. All right.
You're up, Brady.
A proper job at what a tank successfully looked like was after Peyton Manning had the neck surgery, sat out the year. Do you remember the quarterback that they rolled with to get him the number 1 overall pick?
Curtis Painter.
It was Painter. So it was Painter. That's the thing. They rolled with that all season. Now, are you going to tell me there was not a single better option at quarterback to put back there to win more games in the entire league? Of course there was. So my thing is, when they brought on Fitzpatrick for a tank year, what did we all say? Everybody said it when we signed Fitzpatrick. Oh man, he's going to win he's going to win some games. He's just a gunslinger. He slings that ball. He has, and first of all, not just that. He is an extremely, extremely likable person in the locker room. He connected with everybody. Didn't matter their age, their background, their race.
It's magic.
He's grandpa, of course.
So my thing was, when I talk about tanking, they screwed it up because you're right. You cannot go to the players and say, all right, everybody huddle up. Ross is going to walk in. Ross walks in and says, look, I'm going to pay all you guys salaries, but you have to lose every game this year. You cannot do that. That's not what I'm saying. What you do is you put the worst possible talent out there and let them play the hardest they fucking can. And they half-assed it so much And that look, they rolled with Fitzpatrick because he was so clearly the most likable and the best option they had that year. They also had
Yep.
Rosen on that team.
Yep.
Now
All right, Big
Flores,
John, you up?
nobody can go.
Oh, go
nobody
ahead.
can go there. And well, I was going to say nobody can go to that locker room and tell those guys,
All right,
look,
later,
we're
MC.
rolling with Rosen.
All right, MC.
We're rolling with Rosen for the season. Fitzpatrick, I appreciate you signing 6 months earlier, but go hit the hot tub. You cannot do that.
Yep.
So that's where they screwed up. That was my issue. And what the issue was with Greer doing that and with Ross. They wanted to tank, but they didn't know how to do it right. And
No,
that's
they hired a
incompetence.
guy. They hired a guy that was untankable because he was
Yep.
going to coach up scrubs and win football
Yes.
games
Yeah,
and
yeah.
lead.
So they
and let
hired.
them-
Can-
hold on.
can I-
Exactly.
can I-
They hired.
yeah,
Hold on.
let,
they
go ahead,
hired the
John. Hold on,
coach.
Brandon. Let John get in this month. Go ahead.
Let me.
John.
I don't mean this is not a race thing, but I'm gonna say it this way: if you're gonna tank, the last person you want to hire is a black head coach who knows they do not get many coaching opportunities because
Yep.
he's not gonna
Absolutely.
waste his year tanking.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna
You're
ask
making
another
too much
question real
sense.
quick. Kahari, let me ask you a question, man. You said you didn't come on the panel
Gotcha,
till this
Tony.
week. Did I say something you didn't like that made you want to jump off?
No. It wasn't you, man. I'm used to all the Pro Tour stuff, right? That didn't bother me too much.
Yeah,
I
he
was
got
stepping-
kicked
I was
out.
stepping
He
down
got
the
kicked
jet.
out by Larry
So-
today. I saw that.
Could I
so
say
let me
one
ask
more
you a
thing
question.
about tanking, real quick? Oh, go ahead, Big John. I thought you were done.
No, I just wanted to know what is it. Go because I want to hear his answer on what it is I said about Tua he doesn't like. So please.
All right, yeah,
So-
all right,
the-
got
the
you.
floor is
Kohler,
yours,
Tony.
brother.
Kohler,
one more
Tony,
quick
and
Shorter
then Kahari.
answer is
All right,
what do you
one more.
like?
One more quick thing on tanking. I understood the purpose of it, and I understand how it's done. But even as a guy that understands what's going on, I was never on board with it, ever.
I didn't like tanking either,
Okay,
did I, Brandon?
You know, some of us
No,
have
Chris was
experienced
always
the 1 in
against it.
15 season.
It look what it does to the franchise, bro.
and when-
Look where we're at
Well,
now.
Chris-
Are we
Chris's-
better for
Chris's
doing it?
biggest argument was that you breed a culture of losing is acceptable. That was Chris's argument, which is a very valid argument.
When in
You
week
cannot
11,
argue
when
against that.
in week
But-
11, when
You also
Greg,
breed a culture of sabotage, bro.
okay, when in week 11, when Greg Camarillo walked off that touchdown against the Ravens, I was crying.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, a grown man.
Me too.
Okay, and let me
Yeah.
point out something about tanking too, and this is why I'm never on board with it. Okay, we drafted
up,
Dan
Dolphin?
Marino in 1983, right?
Yep.
Did we tank to do it? Well, before you answer that question, I've already looked it up. 1981, we were 11-4. 1982 was a strike year. We were 7-2. No tank necessary to get Dan Marino.
Yeah, or Bill
That's
Belichick,
my
or
case.
Yeah, but
Tom
what
Brady.
round did
Brady
we get
went
him
in the
in?
6th round.
I was about to say, or
First
Tom
round.
Brady. Yep.
Brady went
Tony,
in the
you're up,
1st.
bro.
Russell Wilson was the 3rd.
Well,
Yes,
if we had
you
people
hit-
if we had people upstairs that understood football, they'd know that
Exactly.
most of the time
Exactly.
first round draft picks are busts.
Brandon
Well,
always
it's
flows to
50%.
the top, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Joe
Tony.
Burrow's just showing that to not be true, but only
But
as
Brandon,
one-
that
one
50%
player.
is only a new phenomenon. That's not how traditionally it's been in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
that's
that,
the-
Herman
that's the
Edwards?
Peyton
world we
Manning was
live in
probably
now.
one of the
And
first
second
that I
of
can
all,
remember.
The
What's that
two
Herm Edwards
quarterbacks that
quote?
are playing
We play
next
to win
Sunday
the game.
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the two
Herm
quarterbacks
Edwards.
that are playing for the Super Bowl this year were number 1 overall picks, not first round picks. Number one overall.
I'm just
Okay,
saying that's
so
not
look-
that's only the norm now. That hasn't always been the norm. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
You gotta live
it's-
in today. You can't live in the 80s.
I
The
understand
game,
we're
the
talking about
game, the
3
game
years ago.
skewed this way though too. You know,
It wasn't
Yeah,
even
hey,
like
what
that
up, Tony?
3 years ago.
Tony,
It's
go
just
ahead,
these
brother.
guys
Hold
that
on,
were
Color.
drafted.
Hold on, Color.
Hang
Color.
on.
There you go.
Guys,
Go
I
ahead,
have
Tony.
a question for everybody. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I do you think honestly, do you feel that this lawsuit, if it follows through and stuff like that, do you think it changes the mentality of these white owners? Really, like guys like Jerry Jones?
No, not at all.
Or
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately,
Hell
no.
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 Well, they're
So,
named
okay,
in the
you're
lawsuit.
Can I
They're named in the
let
lawsuit.
me
hang
be the
on, Big
first.
John.
Let me be the first one. Let me be the first one to answer your question real quick.
Yeah.
This, unfortunately, this isn't going to change anything. The lawsuit is basically not going to go through. It's not going to do anything because the NFL already started defending themselves against Brian Flores. So as much as I want to praise him, if this happened, like I said, what he did this year to me has nothing to do. You being an asshole, not being able to communicate with anybody, that's all true. That's got nothing to do with what they did in 2019. That's disgusting what they did. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, he put his life on the line, his livelihood, and it's not going to do anything because you just pissed off 30. You just pissed off 28 owners who are going to make sure, if they made sure that Colin Kaepernick is out of the league, they're going to make sure you're going to be coaching Pee Wee.
All billionaires too.
Yep. All right, hang on a second. I gotta hear. We gotta get the lowdown on why Kari's had beef with Big John for some of the stuff he said.
One little fact check.
Come on, Kari.
One little fact check.
All right.
One little fact check. The New England Patriots are also named in the lawsuit as a John Doe team. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, because of the Bill Belichick tweet.
All right, real quick. First off, Big John, yo, I respect and I envy you. I want to be a massage therapist. I'm thinking about switching my career to be just like you, okay? But as far as your takes on Tua, I've just never been a Tua believer guy. I've just never believed in his ability. And from what I've seen on the field, it just confirmed my worst suspicions in terms of his ability. I think he's damaged goods, number one. And then number two, I doubt
Brandon, does he sound just like you, Brandon, or what, bro? Continue. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's literally word for word. Now, it's freaking like
I doubt his ability to recover. And now I actually root for the guy. I hope he's successful. And I do admit that he has been shortchanged by the way he's been handled. But hey, it is the NFL. This is the big boys league. You put up or shut up immediately when you get on that field.
You're a millionaire.
That's how it is. That's just how it is. And so, like I said before, I heard you were one of the guys who would consistently give the strongest defense to Tua, right?
Yes.
And so I was behind my screen just disagreeing with you, but I wasn't jumping on to argue with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm kind of scared of you too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to throw no blows. You know what I mean? So,
Big John, you just
Big John's a teddy bear, guys.
Yeah.
Don't let that.
As soon as he
He's
saw
a
I was
sweet
still
guy.
alive, he's like, "Oh, well, if he can make it, I'll go in."
He's a powerful teddy bear. He's a powerful teddy bear.
Yeah, he's like a bear. They could break your back if they want to.
Big John respond, and then
I'm kidding on that. I'm from down south. We gotta throw hands. We throw hands.
Yeah.
Just to keep
it. People.
Can I say something real quick?
They don't understand something.
Hold on, Brandon.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Who was going to say something?
Brandon,
you gonna say
no,
something?
let John finish his stuff.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
But
Yeah. No, what I was going to say,
First of
the
all-
whole thing about people saying with Flores, am I delayed?
you definitely are delayed a little, but go ahead, Brandon.
Oh shit. Well, I was going to say, as far as the whole, Tua thing, yes, I agree. He was given a pretty rough situation coming in with all of that stuff. But my thing is what Kari just said. When you get on the field, you put up or shut up. Now, will anybody argue that Burrow walked into a great situation? He had one of the worst. Hold on, he had one.
Him
of
and
the
Andrew Luck.
worst, he still has one of the worst lines. He had an owner that I will admit is
very
terrible
cheap.
also. He doesn't play all this stuff. He had everything working against him just as much. But you saw from the first season before his O-line, which is his shitty situation, got his knee snapped in half. Yep. You saw it. You were like, oh shit, this kid
Like a
got
phoenix,
something.
he rose from the ashes.
I did not think he was going to come right back and take it to the Super Bowl. However, you saw it. Tua has never, ever, ever, ever shown a single flash in the game. I always ask people, what's the most memorable moment? And everybody tells me one or two things.
I'll
They
tell
either
you.
say the Kansas City game
With third
that
stringers
he
and
tried-
fourth stringers. Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah,
the game we lost.
Yeah, against we had a third string running back, 4 fifth string receivers that game. I remember.
I'm just waiting.
Hold
'cause,
on.
I like to.
Yeah, but you know what? Go ahead, John.
All right, I'm out of
John.
here, dude.
Later, Tonk. I'll talk to
Look.
you tomorrow, brother.
All right,
Later.
Love you, bud.
All right, man. Listen, I understand where everybody comes from. Okay, don't think that I'm blind. Like everybody told me, they always tell me, "Oh, you're a Tua fan." No, and even Cap has had to tell people, "No, he's not a Tua fan. He's a Dolphin fan." But at the same time, you have to understand something. You're giving you're given the 32 ranked offensive line. Let's be sincere here, okay? Jesse Davis cannot block my daughter. My daughter sacked Tua this year like 6 times going around Jesse Davis, and she's 2 years old. Okay, you have 5 offensive linemen and 6 leads. There's not one single running back outside of Philip Lindsay, who should be the offensive line coach, by the way, who blocked anybody this entire season. Okay, now Tua first of all shouldn't have been on the field his first year. I know what it's like to come back of an injury similar to what Tua had. Okay, there is no way in hell he should have been on the field. Now, the kid's got heart. The kid tried to do the best he could with an offense that wasn't made for him. People do forget that Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert were running their offenses from college that were brought over to the NFL. They did not do that for Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, now, apart from that, he did have the 31st ranked running game to go along with it. Now, apart from that, he's played more games with Jakeem Grant than with Devontae Parker. Nobody can make Jakeem Grant better because Jakeem Grant cannot catch a beach ball with stickum gloves. Okay? That guy is horrible.
Tony,
He can run.
Tony, you up next. Go ahead, Tony.
Hold on. Hold on real quick. I want to clarify. Did I say that Burrow's injury was career ending? I just saw that in the comments.
I
No.
posted it.
No,
but
I don't
career
think
ending
I said it.
because of
If
the way
I
he
did,
got
I did clearly did not mean career ending. If I
No.
said it, I don't think I ever did.
No. You didn't say
No,
that.
you're
At the
good.
end
Go
of the
ahead,
day,
Tony. You
Okay.
disagreed, and then Batman, I got you next.
And at the end of the day,
Okay.
Tua's been playing with 3rd and 4th string receivers. Tua had to make Mac Hollins relevant, people. Mac Hollins, nobody knew who he was. He may be great. Nobody knew who he was till Tua got here. Okay? So when you're playing with 3rd string and 4th string receivers, literally, it was Tua playing quarterback. Me, Cap, and Mike were playing wide receiver, and Batman was playing running back. They had guys off of UPS playing for the Dolphins. That's what
Home
it felt
Depot.
like
Call
playing
me,
for
Home
dog.
Depot.
Gotta play good.
Home Depot.
Hold on. I want to say one quick thing about the argument with this. Now we can compare. Now we're comparing the Burrow to Tua situation. It's
No, I
apples
didn't.
to oranges, right? So let's do the apples to apples comparison real quick. What the closest thing we can come up with when Fitz, a career basically journeyman that has never won a playoff game or never been to the playoffs, is a quarterback, and then you got Tua, number 5 overall pick. We're on the same team. When did Devontae Parker look his best in his entire career? Was with the same team, the same O-line, the same running backs, the same offensive coordinators.
You're
everything.
talking about the only year in his career that he was on the field more than 9 games. Yeah,
He played 16 games one
that's
year
a
in his career.
That's a Devontae Parker thing. But however,
that's called an anomaly. That's 1 year.
Okay,
That's
but
1 year
Fitz
in his
made
career.
that offense. Fitzpatrick made that offense look a much better starting anytime he ever stepped on that field than Tua did at any point ever in his career so far.
All right, go ahead, Tony.
But he
Go ahead,
had-
Tony.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
I'm biting my tongue about this
I
freaking
can hear it.
offensive
It's
line
great.
argument. I'm tired of it. I'm seriously getting tired of that shit.
Well,
Seriously.
you don't have to.
Oh, I
the
got
facts are
something.
facts, bro.
I
I'm
got
not
something
the one
for you,
saying
Tony.
it.
So it's
but-
gonna keep
but
coming. It's gonna keep
the
coming.
fact that you're bringing up the offensive line, we're glossing over the fact that we have 3 second-year players and a rookie. I'm eliminating Jesse Davis. I'm eliminating Jesse Davis out of the conversation. I'm talking
So
about
we
the
had
rookie.
4 offensive linemen.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We
So-
forget the fact that why can't we use the quarterback has that same argument for the offensive line? We have 3 young offensive linemen that takes 3 or 4
Hey,
years
show
to
that mark
develop.
on it. Go ahead, Tony. Keep going.
Well, why is it that the fan base is patient for the quarterback, but they don't have that same patience for the O line?
Well, Tony, that's the problem. They're not patient.
Hang on.
They're not patient.
Hang on. Let
They're
Batman
not-
go. Let Batman go, Big John.
I'm
Go ahead.
gonna just say 2 things. I'm gonna jump off, guys. I've been up since 5:45, so real quick. But just to answer Tony and answer Brandon the bookie. All right, no doubt about it. Parker had a brilliant, his only career season. That one season that he did, and let's not forget he had continuity from the year before with Parker. So all that talk that how you look better than Tua that year, when you coming off those 5 wins, Fitzpatrick built momentum with his offense, and he had this team playing together. Obviously, you had some young guys on the line. I'll give you that, but let's not forget that he built some continuity. He was a likable guy, and he built a rapport with that offense. People like to forget those things. Now that being said, I want to just say this before I close. As far as I'll throw a little funny out there. I said it on our show earlier. Like I said, I give respect to Flores in one sense as far as him, speaking out, because obviously what he's doing is career ending as far as, as a coach for the future for his career. But I commend him for actually speaking out. Now, whether it was timing, people want to blame him for that. That's another story. But I wanted to throw funny out there right before just leaving, guys. The Dolphins should go back and then sue Flores for attempted murder for putting Austin Jackson and Jesse Davis as your right and left tackle, man. I'll just put that out there. They should have for attempted murder.
Yeah,
but Batman, real quick. How do I know that's not Stephen Ross again? We're blaming Flores. As we see, no one does anything. He's micromanaging everything.
He is.
So, okay, before Culler goes,
just jumping off, guys. Much love. Hey, Chris,
Batman,
I sent you a text.
Later,
Hit me up. If
Batman.
I don't see you tonight, I'll get
hang
you
on,
in the morning.
Tony.
Yeah, we'll get with that tomorrow, Batman.
All right, man.
Hang on, Tony. I want to address
Later,
a
man.
comment. Mark Krajewski. So, if you're new to the show, Bubba, a couple days ago, I can't remember if it was like last week or not, but that attempted murder comment got me going, Batman. That was gold. But a couple days ago, I introduced everybody to the fact that we are the circus of the NFL, and I did not anticipate that Barnum and Bailey was going to show up in South Beach, and we are literally going to be the circus of the NFL. But we start here, and now we go forward. So, Culler, go ahead, bro.
I like Mac Hollins. I was happy when he came here. I don't know. I'll just put that out there. But he does have a Super Bowl ring. I mean, obviously he wasn't a big part of the Philly offense other than here and there, but man's got a Super Bowl ring. More than I can say for any of our other wide receivers on our squad.
And a lot of people undervalue Mac Hollins, man. He may be a late developer, but he was a 3rd round draft pick.
And Big John knows how I feel about Mac. Big John knows how I feel about Mac. I really think we could slide him into like a Jim Jensen role. You know what I mean? He's that type. I mean, the body physique is about the same. It reminds me of Crash Jensen out there. You know what I mean? And that could also provide relief for our tight ends. Because he's kind of a tweener in that.
He's a good mismatch in certain situational football for certain, bro. He is a weapon that needs to be utilized.
But I also wanted to just keep reminding everybody that the only information we've ever been able to work with since Flores got fired was what the Dolphins want us to know.
Yep.
All
right,
Up until this point, Culler. Up until this point.
Right. So now all of our reconciliation is happening now because what's coming out is making more sense to us.
That's right.
In our original
my
assumption.
gut told me something is afoot. Something is afoot.
I'm not saying he was perfect or a god. I'm just saying stop with the dehumanization, because if people would have heeded my warnings last week, they wouldn't be getting bit by Mike Florio right now.
Yeah. All right, Kari, you're up next, but I'm going to take the pin out of the grenade that is El Capitan because he's been real quiet. I know he's been digesting all of this.
Well,
so I
good,
want him
brother.
to go.
El Capitan's reading. This is your show.
Okay,
I listen. Tomorrow night,
Mike,
El Capitan gonna blow it
I
up.
got you, Tony. All right,
Blowing it up, El Capitan tomorrow.
These are closing thoughts. Well,
No, sir. We're still
you're not
cooking,
closing
brother.
thoughts. No. You're not closing thoughts. I was pulling the pin on the grenade. I thought El Cap was about to let
No,
loose
he
on
thought I'm
everybody,
getting ready to pop.
Oh, them first-time head coaches, Kahari. Them first-time head coaches always want to go to bed early.
Hey, well, I'm about out of information too, to tell you the truth. But I just want to congratulate you guys, Culler, Capitan, Mike.
Thank you, brother.
All the commentators, and I got to give TD some credit. You guys have been the most consistent, and to me, just in my opinion, has showed me the most real knowledge of what it takes to win on a football field at an NFL level. Because a lot of this other stuff is just some wild, crazy stuff. Mean NFL coaches. I mean, come on.
Bro, are you kidding
Who
me?
would have ever thought it?
Every coach is my coach used to
meanest
make me
SOBs.
run till I threw up, and then he laughed at you.
My first
two
coach
meanest
punched me in the
SOBs.
face.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna say, look, the two meanest SOBs in coaching are the two greatest at their sport: Bill Belichick and Nick Saban.
And Don Shula
you
wasn't
can't
a
deal
nice
with
guy.
Don Shula wasn't.
No,
Listen,
and that's what I was about to say. Is Don Shula
he
was a
wasn't
great
no
asshole,
choir
but-
boy, although he was a choir boy. And just
Yeah,
remember, guys, there's two sides to the coin. Just because someone's mean all the time, don't mean they're a hateful person. They take their job seriously. And Ross, or excuse me, Flores could have been cracking under the pressure because dude, we're talking about morality at this point. We're talking about here code, a man's code, bro.
That's what I was trying to talk about earlier. I think at the beginning, Flores may have been, as a first-year coach, in on the scheme, but little by little, being invited on the yacht, being asked to tank, little by little, he's, like, what the hell are they?
They were setting him up for the fall. He saw that
the entire time.
That's
entire
right.
time.
All right,
And
Tony.
he had too much integrity. So that's it.
All right, Tony, you up, bro?
I'm out, guys.
Yeah, Kari. Hey, Kari, you
All right,
always welcome
man.
back, bro. Kari,
Thanks
you
for
always
jumping on.
welcome back.
Peace.
Kari,
Hey,
please.
respect Big John. I'm just playing with you, Big John, man. Respect. Don't agree with you about Tua. Don't agree with you about Tua, though. Can't do that, man.
Kari, I'm gonna.
Don't worry, man. We can always go to a strip club, bro, and we're good.
Thanks
for joining, man.
Thanks for coming, Kari. Kari,
go pick up Tua and bring him with you. All right.
I've been known to partake, so
Tonk wants to see if you want to come and do one of the game shows with him, man. So let's try to line that up.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's go, Kari. Are you on Twitter?
Oh, we're in the backstage. I'm gonna give you my.
No, we're not in backstage. We're not in backstage.
Okay.
We're still live.
Okay.
Oh, in backstage in the private chat. You can give me a
private
Twitter.
chat.
Okay,
I'll send some stuff there. Okay,
Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, Tony, you up, bro?
Peace, guys.
Later, man.
Okay, I have NBC Sports and the USA Today are reporting that Harbaugh just signed a contract with the Vikings.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
that's
an easier path
then-
too. He ain't got a Josh Allen or Belichick.
And he ain't
I
got a
told you guys. I told you guys, McDaniel, bro.
He's been right.
Then this better be Caldwell coming my way because Caldwell is my number 2 on my dream team. I don't want it to be McDaniel because look at the situation. Look at the situation this kid's walking into.
Hang on. The only person that could legitimately save this right now is somebody that's been here before, and it's Doug Peterson. If for some reason he wants to take this job, get Ross and Greer out of here, Doug Peterson I have faith in. With Dan Marino's help, maybe Tom Brady is going to get the QB coach or the offensive coordinator position. Tom Brady he's getting interviewed by Miami, and it's not for playing. So if that's true, maybe you can get a young, really good staff going with Doug Peterson. I don't know, but Tony, you have another point or no? Because if not, then it's up to Big John.
Actually, yeah, I want to argue with Big John about the offensive line thing. Rankings mean nothing, honestly. I understand why you bring it up, but we have to realize we have young guys on that line and stuff like that. And as a fan, you have to be patient with these young guys. It takes them 3 or 4 years to develop. Why can't we give them?
Are you done? Okay, listen. I agree with you with your premise. Okay, the problem is that they're not. People are saying, "Oh, why can't if we're going to be patient with Tua? Be patient with the offensive line." If you haven't been noticing for the past 2 years, they're not being patient with Tua. They threw Tua out there with a fucked up hip to play football. He wasn't ready to play. How is that being patient? That's
No,
wrong.
I'm not. I'm not.
No, listen. You just said, if we have patience for the quarterback, why don't we have patience for the offensive line? I'm telling you, they haven't had patience with the quarterback, and they're not having patience with the offensive line. They set them up for sabotage.
I think he's talking about the fans.
The fans, they haven't had patience with Tua. They're trying to get rid of Tua, and Tua's won more than any other quarterback, no matter how aesthetically pleasing it looks.
What are you talking about? The guy has his own hashtag group.
It's
not
not his
not
fault.
being patient with him. I'm
How
talking
are
about
they
the fans.
That's
The
what I'm
fans are
saying.
absolutely being patient with him.
With Tua,
Or
no, they're not.
we'll say this: there's not a single
Color,
fan that's being
Color,
patient with the offensive line. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, out of the Dolphin fan base, the only fans that are being patient with Tua are the Alabama fans
And
that
I
want
get that.
Tua.
I get that, but none of us are being patient with the offensive line. I think that's what Tony's trying to point out.
I
You know what I mean?
understand that, but at the same I think.
Let me ask you real quick.
I'm gonna ask you.
How many times a day I hear that our team is
Wait
trash,
up.
Big John?
Wait up.
Besides
Okay,
Tua,
I know that's why the best thing to watch are the cheerleaders. But listen, here's my point.
Brandon, you're up next.
What I'm trying to
you're
tell
gonna
you
get an
is,
argument from me on
Then
that.
throw
John.
it. Then throw it to Gio after Brandon.
in my opinion, and I've said this before, even before the quarterback, to me, I think the offensive line is the most important part of a football team. And they
Trenches.
are not doing their job. So it doesn't, that's why the argument of me saying that Deshaun Watson or any other quarterback, Richmond Webb said Dan Marino could not be successful behind this offensive line.
Well, because that would take away from himself in his own performance. Of course, he's going to say that.
You can be successful behind this offensive line. You can be successful because look, my thing is, look, a great quarterback elevates everything. They hide the deficiencies. There are no perfect teams.
Preach.
Let me ask you, how patient is Cincinnati with their O-line right now? They got patience because guess what? That quarterback has done a really good job of making you forget how terrible that O-line is.
They also have incredible
Oh.
wide receivers and a running back, which we don't even have that.
Yeah, but I think Brandon's saying that those receivers are great because he's elevated them.
He's elevating not just that. He's a good quarterback elevates everything.
Okay.
First of all, let's think about who's about to be the starting right tackle in the Super Bowl for the Bengals. Our 6th-round pick that we got rid of, Prince. Look, he's got a terrible O-line, but nobody really seems to care because even when the kid's back there and slipping out of sacks and running for first downs and throwing touchdowns, it covers up the deficiencies. Because look, there's only even if you said, okay, Tua has a top 10 line, there's only 10 top 10 lines in the whole NFL.
I never
the rest
said
of the leagues got below.
Hold on, Brandon. I love you to death, bro, but hold on a second. I never said I wanted Tua to have a top 10 line. I never said Tua had to have a perfect offense. I never said Tua had to have top 10 receivers. I said a manageable offensive line, not the 32nd offense. Drew Brees was the only person we could listen.
12 to 25.
Listen, Drew Brees, who is like Tua, like Steve Young, never had a offensive line in the top 10. I just want a comparable offensive line that can give you more than 2.5 seconds before they shatter your fucking ribs to liquid shit. That's all that I asked for.
Hold on. I just want you to look up. I don't know the answer, but I have a really good idea what it is. What was the Chargers O-line last year in Herbert's rookie year?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Time out. Wait. Before you answer, the Chargers were bottom on the offensive line, but they were bottom because they could not block. They couldn't run block. They didn't have a problem pass blocking. Okay, just before you bring up the number.
Do you know why the pass blocking numbers weren't so bad? Is because every O-line leaks up. Eventually, the defense wins some reps and the offense wins some reps on the line. That's how it works. So when the defense won their reps against the O-line, and it should go against, and why it comes bad pass numbers for Tua's because he takes sacks and makes bad decisions. What happened when Herbert or Joe Burrow was under pressure? They get the hell out of there and they run for first downs, they run for big plays, or they make a play happen. Tua has no playmaking ability. If it is scripted and everybody do everything perfect the way it was drew up, the whole play goes to shit. He doesn't. The whole play goes to shit.
I don't see that because I don't see that because Tua ran for 2 first downs, threw a bomb rolling out to his left. He's made plays during the season where the play wasn't perfect. He made plays against the Saints where they had no blocking. So I don't agree there completely.
Hold on, Brandon. Hold on, Tony. Tony, hold on, man, because I want to hear from Gio. Gio's been waiting patiently, and I know Gio wants to get in on it. Get in on this, Gio.
Damn, I'm about to do it.
Hey, hold
What's
on,
up, everybody? What's up, Big John, bro? Big John, I've been dying to talk to you, bro. I heard some news, man. Prayers to you, bro. Call me after the show.
Oh, I'll call you.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Mike on the mic? Brandon, Culler, what's up, man? I gotta interject this because Brandon, you guys were both right, but I'm gonna say this: that pass blocking was good for also many other reasons for the Chargers. They had Mike Williams and they had Keenan Allen. Those guys right there beat
Gio,
defenders.
when you tell me pass blocking's made better by wide receivers, I gotta laugh, bro, because that's just a ridiculous statement.
He's right.
No, they beat their defensive backs. They get separation.
No, the quarterback got the ball where it needed to be.
No, but the reason why the quarterback,
but they don't block on the line. How does that make the O-line better?
It doesn't matter. Well, if I could explain it. If I can explain it, those wide receivers win their matches. Aside from the Chargers O-line being way better at pass protecting than run blocking, like Big John said.
Waddle beat a lot of DBs all year.
But Waddle's our only receiver that's beating DBs, and when you have two DBs on Waddle, nobody else is going to beat their blocks.
Gesicki wins his reps a lot of the times too, and he had.
But what happened at the end of the season? Gesicki couldn't get open anymore because they were putting the second best cornerback on Gesicki, which is faster and more athletic than Gesicki, all over him. So when that happens, Gesicki couldn't do shit.
It happens to Mike Williams and Keenan Allen too. They don't win every game.
After Brandon, it's Culler.
Before I get my counter argument to Big John's rebuttal to my point that I was making, is he said that Tua ran for 2 first downs and did a rollout to the left, which is supposed to sound like something great. Second
I didn't say he did every game. I said I've seen him make plays with his legs. You said he made none.
Okay. So you're not, like I said, you've seen him roll out and you've seen him roll for or run for a couple first downs. That's great. I will tell you, just in that losing performance, the last game of the season for Herbert that he lost to the Raiders, just that fourth quarter alone, I saw more playmaking ability, more big-time, big boy quarterback plays in that final quarter and overtime from him than you can ever. I'll give you from now to 24 hours. We'll come back tomorrow. You write down the counter argument of Tua's plays that even match up close to what you saw from Herbert in one quarter. And my thing is, he makes plays. A good quarterback makes everything else better.
Tell you,
Brandon, but you gotta remember how Justin.
Hang on, Gio, wait up. Let Big John.
Give me 1 second. I'm only going to tell you one thing, and I don't care how everybody wants to slice this, okay? Tua and Justin Herbert have the same record. Now, Justin Herbert has 11 Pro Bowlers on his team, and Tua has 1, and he's on defense. You guys can pick it apart however you want. I don't care. That's all I got to tell you. From a talent standpoint, they have 11 Pro Bowlers to 1. Tua got a rookie receiver. Tua made a rookie receiver break a record.
Yep.
The only reason why Tua had any of those wins is because that defense kept the score under 17.
We can say the same thing about
Tua can't get over 17.
Hey,
Tua's gonna win every game if the opposition scores less than 17.
We can say the same thing about Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl. He won 3. So.
How many Super Bowls did that kicker for the Patriots win for Brady? How many Super Bowls did that kicker?
And that kicker is so good, he made the O-line blocking better. I'm just messing everybody's balls.
Sure.
Just busting everybody's balls, bro.
Let me settle the boat real quick. I'm gonna get Culler, and then I'm gonna go Tony, and then I'm gonna go Gio. But unless Culler, your point's passed on, but I know what you're gonna talk about. But here, guys, this is greatness. I think we can all agree that there are a lot of improvements that need to be made, and it's not Tua's fault. It's not solely Tua's fault. And that's what Big John's been trying to say since I've met him, is that why are we blaming Tua when you've got the crap that was put around him? And so I'm not saying I'm just saying it's not just Tua's fault. I think it goes deeper than that. Now, am I going to sit here and
I blame ownership.
Great. Has Tua done great? No, critically speaking, I do not think
Nobody
he's
said
great.
that.
I think he's had flashes. Yeah, I know, but I think he's had flashes, and he's shown a little bit on tape that
John,
there are certain skills.
Cool,
hang on, Tony.
I agree.
Yes. Hang on. I'm gonna so what I want to do is I'm gonna go Culler, Tony, Brandon, Big John, Gio, And Gio, I hope you don't mind waiting, but I want
Ben
to get
El
this going real quick.
Capitan.
But yeah, and then I'm gonna finish it up at the end, but we're not anywhere near close to it. But Culler, you go first, then Tony, Brandon, Big John, Gio. Go ahead, Culler.
I had a thought about earlier, but to John's point about Tom Brady, he was made it to the Pro Bowl. Since you like to point out Pro Bowls, he made it to the Pro Bowl his first season as a starter.
Yeah, thinking and dunking. What they complained.
Doesn't matter what it was.
Well,
so the Pro Bowlers you're talking about got their Pro Bowler by receiving the dink and dunk. What's the difference?
No, you're right. There is none except for the way it's portrayed. But go ahead, keep going.
I think we can all agree Tom Brady would never have a Super Bowl if his kickers didn't give him all 7. I think we all agree with that.
Hey, shots fired. All
right,
right,
the fact of it is, and I'm gonna address this to chat too, because they always like to point out how bad everything is all the time for every play. Matter of fact, CB, I'll quote CB. Put his comment up there. Where is it?
What is it?
Let's see.
Who was it?
I have to look. Football is about. Wait, no, that's not it. About the one part about where every play is a breakdown. Here we go. Culler, you can't be patient with an O-line. It's the difference. There you go. Okay, just read that statement. Okay,
you
just read it. Okay, Culler, you can't be patient with an O-line. It's the difference between life and death for your QB. You can't have both your tackles out there throwing oh shit blocks. We had to break down every play. And that's just simply false. Just simply false.
All right, Tony.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tony.
I want to respond.
And before, real quick, CB, I will bring out the video. Okay, I watch it.
All right, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Okay, the CB's comment is a perfect. I can blame the blocking, but also I can blame Tua holding the ball too long, because some of that ranking you can blame on Tua holding the ball too long. Don't you agree, John?
I think not enough. Okay, so here's the deal. When I laughed at a comment that came out, and then I'm gonna get to Brandon, but I laughed at a comment that came out that Mike Daniels supposedly said in the interview about making it a quicker passing game. Tua had on average like 3.1 seconds to throw the ball. In essence, he was getting rid of it at 2.3 seconds because he literally had an 8/10 of a second before he was gonna get hit. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was all Tua, but on some of the plays. But I've seen it happen to all the quarterbacks in the league, not just the young guys. It's every now and then they're gonna hold the ball.
Thank you, Mary. Let's watch the film of Tua's fumbles.
Yeah, oh gosh. But here's yeah. So Brandon, you go up next. But I just want to answer your question, Tony. I don't think it's all about him. I think some of those plays, but that happens every day in every game. But anyways, go ahead, Brandon.
Well, listen.
That's what I want to ask John. He's a rational Tua fan. I'm pissed off at these irrational guys who think he's God.
Yeah, exactly. Like clap for you. You got Culler to react with lies. Anybody can do that. Am I supposed to give you a cookie?
John, I want your.
Well, I was going to say, as far as the Tua thing,
I understand you blame the offensive line for the ranking. Can you blame portions of it of Tua for holding the ball too long? Sometimes too, some of the sacks and some of the hits, because he wants to make the big play instead of making the smart play. Do you agree?
But the problem is when he does make the smart. But the problem is when he does make the smart play, you guys criticize him for it.
No, I will agree with Big John.
That touchdown to Devontae Parker was behind him, and if there's a Pro Bowl cornerback right there, that's taken out of his hands to the house. Yes.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Touchdown or not, terrible throw.
And if Mahomes gets picked off in the playoff game,
I'm not arguing for Mahomes.
No drive.
I'm not arguing for Mahomes.
We're talking about two different quarterbacks. One's elite and one's a piece of trash compared to
I'm not arguing for Mahomes. I'm not arguing for him.
Q says, let's talk the scandal again.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon.
Well, like I was going to say, as far as the Tua thing, yes, he is comfortable taking the checkdowns, which a lot of times in football is considered the smart play. If a play's not there, take what the defense gives you. I don't knock that. That is what you want. And that you can say it's game management or whatever. No, good quarterback. Brady has made a living off that too. If the play ain't
Captain
there,
Deacon
what
does.
you do, either takes the check down or he
10-yard
throws it
Hail
away.
Mary is
My
hilarious.
issue-
Lucky you
my-
put 10-yard Hail Mary. That is funny, dude. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
but go ahead.
By
That
the
is
way,
hilarious.
Brady was
But like I
also
was gonna
league
say-
MVP in his 3rd season. That ain't
Well,
dinking and
hold on.
dunking.
Hang on, Culler. Hang on, Culler.
No,
Let him go.
no. My thing is that has got to be a part of a quarterback's repertoire. He's got to be able to take what the defense gives him or throw it away, which is fine. I'll applaud it. That's great, but there's got to be something else. How many times this year did we see where Tua forced the check down when you had a Waddle running down the seam, wide open, beat his man, and he doesn't see it? The issue is a lot of different things. The other things, do you remember, I believe it was the Titans game. Was it the first quarter? How bad, this might have been one of the worst NFL quarters I've ever seen.
A third quarter.
He rolled out.
I know the play you're talking about was the third quarter.
Yeah, he rolls out to the left. He has an 8-yard, out pass.
First down.
That he's got to hit
First
the
down.
guy for a first down. And somehow on an 8-yard pass, he threw it 10 yards short and it skipped 3 times to the guy's feet. No pressure in his face. He didn't have Aaron Donald wrapping him up. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, that was no grip on the football. That's what that was. That was throwing. That was him thinking to make sure he throws with a quick release. That sounds to me like
Culler, remember when you pointed it out?
Is that
Yeah,
baby
I'm saying
hands
it
that
sounds
can't
like he's
grip
got
it
somebody
in
whispering
cold,
in his
wet
ear.
weather?
Be like Dan Marino. Throw as quick as you can. Well, that causes that type of throw.
Go
I've
ahead,
done it
Brandon.
myself.
Can I?
Hang on, Big John, you're next. I'm gonna let Brandon finish his thought real quick. Go ahead, Brandon.
Like I was okay. People, listen. In this,
That's
division,
a better argument. I'm sorry.
We're in an
That's a better
AFC
argument.
Yeah, right. No, listen. Listen. In the AFC East, we are the only Southern team. Everything else is in the Northeast. You're gonna have to have a quarterback that goes up 3 times a year, up into New York or New England, and play. Sometimes you get lucky. You catch them during the September, October months. You may get them late December. The thing is, you've got to be able to throw. Listen, you have to be weatherproof as a quarterback. And because look at it, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, you look at these quarterbacks, you can't tell if it's 78 degrees and no wind out there, or if it's -4 and the wind's blowing sideways, the snow right across the field. They still get the ball where it needs to be.
You don't like double
That's my
glove
issue.
Bridgewater? Double glove
But
Bridgewater?
listen,
You weren't a fan of him?
Maybe that's all he needs is a set of gloves. Maybe he needs to throw with a set of gloves.
No,
I
no.
mean-
And listen, this is all great. We can argue back and forth about the O-line or if Tua's going to be good in 2, 3, 4 years from now. We don't know any of that. The only thing I can say with certainty is the one common denominator, once again, I'll go back to it, has been Ross. He's been here for a long time, never seen any improvement. Anytime you start to feel like this thing goes in a positive direction, he somehow screws it up. So it's going to be irrelevant if Tua's our quarterback next year or if it's, whoever they draft or trade for. It doesn't matter who they come in for coach. The issues are still going to be the same thing. As an organization, we have nothing going for us. It is a complete and total shit show, and that's going to be the issue. The good buttoned up organizations continually win year after year, and the bad ones continue to lose year after year.
So Big John and Gio are gonna finish the Tua talk, and we're gonna get back to what's going on right now. So Big John, you go first.
All right. I'm gonna dispel 2 narratives before I start talking. First of all, I'm gonna answer your question. Yes, it is Stephen Ross, and I'm gonna explain why. Everybody wonders why Stephen Ross wanted Tua. Okay, I'm gonna explain it. Stephen Ross got tired of Stephen Ross's opinion not even being taken into consideration, watching everybody he wanted at quarterback be taken when he wanted them, and they didn't take them, and they won Super Bowls. One of them won a Super Bowl. The Dolphins wanted Drew Brees. They didn't take him. Look what happened. That's what he kept saying.
The doctor said his shoulder wasn't good.
No, I know. But
he hired all these people to make these decisions.
Wait, I understand that. I'm not denying that. Just listen. He wanted Drew Brees. Doctor said no. They ended up taking Culpepper. That's ancient history. Now, let's come to history in the last 10 years. He wanted Russell Wilson. They said they didn't want to take Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson was small, couldn't throw the ball down the field, and didn't have enough arm strength. That's proven to be negative, and Russell Wilson won a championship. He had to swallow that one. Then he wanted Lamar Jackson. Nobody wanted Lamar Jackson. They didn't take him. He had to swallow, watch him get an MVP. So when he wanted Tua and everybody else didn't want Tua, he said, fuck you, it's my team. I pay the checks, you're getting Tua. And that's how that came. Now I'm going to dispel a narrative. I'm tired of everybody saying Tua has baby hands. I know it's a joke, but at the end of the day, Joe Burrow has smaller hands than Tua Tagovailoa for people who don't know.
Hey, Kenny Pickett.
In fairness to you, John, I wasn't meaning that he had small hands. He just that pass, he had no grip on the ball. That's all I was saying.
You know what the problem is? You know what the
No,
problem
he's
is?
seeing it. He's seeing it in the comments. I'm posting it up. I know what he means.
And I said it too. It is jokingly.
I just didn't want to be looped in with
I
all that.
I know. But you guys said it's a joke. But there are people who actually think Tua has small hands and he doesn't.
Well, there's people that think I'm not a Dolphins fan, so you know.
His thumb comes all the way out like that. He's got
So Kenny Pickett at whatever combine or whatever it is, he wouldn't even get his hands measured, and he has two like disjointed thumbs or something like that. So and
he's double jointed in his thumbs. So
name,
am I.
Kyler Murray's name, Tua's name, they all came up again about the small hand argument. But dude, small hands don't matter in this league anymore.
No.
But Big John, you got to finish up your Tua talk, and then I'm gonna go to Gio to finish up his Tua talk.
So you totally fucked up my argument. I forgot what I was going to say.
Is that a win? Is that a win?
No, I don't think so. I think that's
Big John.
No.
That's a.
But listen, the whole Ross thing and saying that maybe finally he said fuck it and I'm taking the guy I want in Tua. The issue is you could say he hired all the guys to make all those decisions. So he made terrible decisions hiring the people that made bad decisions. Okay, and then now he said, fuck it, I'm going to make my decision.
Okay,
he made a bad decision again. So the issue always
I knew it was going to come back.
I got you, Big John. I knew where you were
Brandon, stop hogging up the airways, man.
Hey, bro. This is what happens when you come on my show, bro. Deal with it. We'll argue about it later when you call me.
You guys just don't know how to respect people's times, bro. You already said your case.
Go ahead,
Go ahead. Finish up, John. You were getting your.
Go ahead. Finish up.
As far as Tua missing reads, when people don't want to look at it, but if I was the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, I'd probably be having the same issue. Okay, you run 7 plays, you literally have 2.4 seconds to get rid of the football. You think you're gonna get hit. So you throw the ball, you miss a play. It happens to rookies all the time. This was Tua's first season. You guys want to say it's his second season. It's not. He's only played a total of 20 games in his career, 22 games, bro. So at the end of the day, when you're getting blitzed or hit, or you say, oh shit, because there's 5 guys blocking and 3 of them are coming after you, you're going to miss reads. It happens. But that doesn't mean that the guy's not going to be a great quarterback. And I made this comparison the other day and nobody wanted to listen. In Alabama, whether it's Alabama or the NFL, that's not where I'm going. In Alabama, Tua had all the weapons and the offensive line, and he looked like God. Justin Herbert didn't look like God. He was ranked 20th and as low as 16th.
But Justin Herbert didn't have all the weapons, though.
That's what I'm saying. Now in the NFL, Justin Herbert has all the weapons. Tua has none. Justin Herbert looks like God, and Tua looks like shit. So why don't we give Tua some weapons?
Wait a minute here. They have the same record as we do, right?
Now, that's a compliment to Tua.
No. And his 204 yards.
What a turn of phrase
per game?
on this guy.
You're kidding me.
We're talking about. I'm talking about when Tua was at Alabama. Tua had all the weapons. Justin Herbert didn't. Tua looked better. In the NFL, Herbert has all the weapons, the Pro Bowl receivers, the offensive line, the running game. Tua doesn't. Who looks like shit right now? Tua. When Tua had the weapons, he looked like God. Justin Herbert has the weapons. He looks like God. So let's give Tua some weapons, an offensive line that you can actually eat a sandwich behind without getting killed. Because right now, as much as everybody wants to say it, they don't want to admit it, I'm going to make everybody laugh. Cap could have sex with his wife behind the offensive line and he has time to finish, get up, and have a sandwich. Tua would have got killed.
Listen,
I need
I'm
more.
just tired of
I
the
need more
same
time than that, bro. I
excuses.
need more time
Hold
than
on.
that, bro.
Listen, I'm just tired of the same excuses that we gave with Tannehill, which everybody said he didn't have a run game. He
There's
did. Hold
nowhere
on,
near the
hold
same,
on.
bro.
He had
They're not even
changing
close to the
offensive
same, bro.
coordinators. Hold on,
They're
hold
not
on.
the
Let me
same.
just say. So, what? Listen, he got 7 years here, and then what happened? He got shipped off to what everybody said was the perfect situation. He's got a good defense. He's got the best running game in the league. All this stuff to happen, and then what happened? And then he gets in the playoffs and he throws 3 picks. He is what he is. We just made excuses for him, and
that
now the
earned him
Titans are seeing it.
1.5 more games per year. Exactly. All that building around Tannehill got him 1.5 more games.
Yeah, when
per
he
year.
got
I'm only going to say one
situation,
thing.
you
Wait.
still have
I'm
the
only going
same
to say one
problem.
thing. I'm only going to say one thing. First of all, I don't
Q's
know.
right. It is Gio's turn.
But hold on.
Yep.
It is. But listen, I don't know what
blame that
excuses
on
were
you,
made for.
Brandon.
I don't know what excuses were made for Tannehill. I never made any because I wasn't on the panel.
Neither.
So I don't know what they
but
were
we
saying.
Me neither, but we were being told the same thing. We're not
Hold
Dolphin
on,
fans.
Culler.
and
Let
we
him
get
let him
this for
finish,
7
Culler.
years.
Hold on, Culler. Let him
Hey, we
finish
gotta
because
get-
then I want to hear from Gio.
Everybody, calm down.
Go ahead.
All right, Gio.
Please. Gio, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna say it like this, man, because at the end of the day, this is the truth. At the end of the day, Tua's played in 21 games with poor piss offensive tackles, which you guys gotta admit they're god awful. Ranked 32nd in pass protection. You can't have enough time, and this is why he would throw the ball that fast, Mike, because you hit it on the head. You don't have enough time when you know your tackles aren't going to give you enough time to throw the passes.
Well,
now,
let me elaborate on that, and then I'll let you finish up. I know it's been, hang on, Culler, wait, Culler, wait. I need you to calm down, Bubba. So, when you start hearing ghosts, it gets even worse, and then you may have time, like in Tennessee, and then you start freaking out, happy feet, short arming it, not following through with your thing because you're trying to throw the ball and get out of the way. So
you're trying to make plays
just,
that you
but
don't.
Go ahead, Gio, finish up.
So to finish my point,
let Gio finish, guys.
When you have poor offensive tackles like that, your internal clock, whoever's played quarterback, all right, your internal clock gets sped up when you know game in and game out, you can't trust your tackles. So that's what we saw in the Tennessee Titans game. He, in his mental state, was hurrying up most of those progressions. And also, it was a bad weather game. Look, we got to admit, we got to be truthful and honest. There was moments of flashes in Tua's 21 games. There was moments of rookie mistakes. Also, I do think that his hip injury mentally messed up with him where, he kind of doesn't want to get hit, but then there are times where he's like, you know what, screw this, I'm putting my body on the line. So I think he has to get his mind right. He's shown us flashes. We do have to upgrade at least one or two of the tackle positions. We got to get him a receiver and a running back, and things are going to look better for him. Look, let's be honest. If we upgrade this offense, Tua has one more year. He has one more year. If he doesn't look like he progresses with the upgrades we do for him, there's no more, you can't ride another year with him. But I do think, because one of the things I like about Tua is that he has accountability. He's the first person to say, I need to work on myself. I played bad. I need to go somewhere in the cold in the offseason and train in the cold so I can learn to get over this, because I can't have performances like that anymore in bad weather games. So at least he has that kind
Gio,
of...
I have a question for you. About Tua specifically. I know people. Do you think having small hands actually can affect the grip on the ball? Because
so I'm gonna say it like this too with the small hands, because Big John said it too. You guys need to go look at the measurements on the combine. Tua actually has probably the fourth biggest hands in the NFL.
Yeah, no, his hands, when I say small hands, I mean it not in the physical thing. It's the fact that he has a problem holding on to the ball when the pocket gets a little dirty.
It's been a problem this year.
Huh?
It's been a problem this year with him holding on to the football, which usually isn't. He's actually usually pretty good. This year, it wasn't his year in that regard. But yeah, he fourth biggest hands in the NFL. You guys need to go do your research.
Kyler Murray's a
And do you
small
guys
guy.
Quick question: what's
Kyler
usually?
Murray's a short guy, but he has massive hands. Look at
Right.
Kyler Murray's hand measurement.
Kyler Murray, I believe, they were making fun of his hands. That they weren't even like 9 inches or something like that.
Tua has bigger hands than Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson has big.
But all right, guys.
Yeah.
So, Gio, I want you, if you got one more final thought on Tua, and then we're gonna get back to what we found out today.
My last thought, basically, what I was going to end with is that this is why we have to give Tua one more year. We have to give him one more year because he hasn't been able to properly be evaluated in the last 21 games. We got to get him a competent, because let's not kid ourselves. George Godsey was not a good offensive play caller. I mean, there was moments where Tua will come out with certain plays and they'll look at each other on that press box and be like, "Oh, I didn't know he could do that." And it's like, come on, guys. Like, this is what practice is for.
And
like
I think
That's an all right point, Gio. Real quick, Gio. I want to let you know I wasn't last night. I wasn't even realize. I didn't even know. I thought I was talking to somebody else about something else. But you had mentioned in the private chat about my logo in the back. Yeah, it's upside down in protest right now because of the news we heard today. It's not about Tua or anything.
Yeah,
and I'm in
and
protest right now.
and when it comes to Tua, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm sick and tired of having the past few decades. We've had quarterbacks we draft quarterbacks with deficiencies or sign a lot of quarterbacks with deficiencies instead of going. This is what pisses me off. We choose the wrong quarterback every freaking year.
But nobody said it was the wrong quarterback. You think it was the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, okay, and that's everybody's opinion, but that's the end of Tua. So you just mentioned we take the wrong quarterback every year. So that goes to what we're talking about today. Is Stephen Ross, is the writing on the wall that he's out the door? And if he is, because the NFL doesn't have to go into the courtroom to say bye-bye Ross. So if he's out of there, and then that ear is not in Chris Greer's ear, that voice is not in Chris Greer's ear, are they going to start changing the trajectory of Miami? That's been the same trajectory, the same mistakes over and over again. We do hit here and there, but is it going to change, or is it just what we have to deal with as Miami Dolphins fans?
No, it's not, because
it's going to change.
It's the same crap.
It's going to change. You know why? Because Ross told us how it's going to change. Except this time, he's not going to be a part of it. Okay, he's the one that has told us that doing the same thing over and over is insanity. Well, if he's out of here, we're not doing the same thing anymore.
Actually, Culler, I disagree with you, because his second in command takes over, it's the same exact crap. It's the same exact crap.
Who's to say he will still be? I mean, we're talking about a new owner, new everything. Greer is not here. Greer is not safe. When this thing snowballs that we're about to see, trust me, Greer and Gross are no longer going to be in this organization. I can bet that. I wish they'd be running odds on it right now.
I'm talking about Garfinkel. Garfinkel, second in command, is going to take over the team. It doesn't make any difference.
Okay, fine, saying. But we don't know how much Garfinkel is on board with Ross over this last 25 years.
Yep. So, hey guys, I almost forgot, and then I want Gio to respond. And then Big John after that, and Brandon the Bookie. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. We got Tonk7 TMI Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Shortly after that, Mike on the mic, your host here, with open mic at 10 p.m. And then on Saturdays we do that at 10 p.m. And then we've got the most educational betting show you'll ever find in cashing tickets. Brandon the Bookie, who's here tonight, Big Kev, and Wizard of the Oz. They're all phenomenally informative as far as learning how to bet, and they're hot. And then, as always, the Fins Tailgate. Make sure it's a tailgate party that never stops. If you want to support the show, if you want to support the channel, you can go to the Cash App and donate there. Make sure you hit that subscribe, guys. Make sure you hit like, subscribe. If you want to turn your notifications on, it's always the shows. You can see we got a great panel. So I want to get back to topic. Please hit that like.
Could I just add one more thing to that real quick,
Yeah,
Tony?
go ahead.
About Garfinkel. In all reality, this is the type of issue that is actually his responsibility, his job. This is something that the president of the organization needs to. Wait, what are we doing here? This is his job. This is Garfinkel's failure.
Plug your show, bro, and then tell us how happy hour's been going.
Oh man, it's been going really fun, bro. Last Saturday was actually surprising to me. It went over 1,000 views, man. My first episode there, and
nice.
It was pretty exciting, bro. It was actually fun. Everyone aired it out. We had a few drinks. We were able to give out a few prizes here, a couple hats, some shirts.
Awesome, brother. Love to hear that.
I gotta say this, man. I mentioned you guys on my show. I don't know if you guys are able to catch it because you guys are always busy. But I mention you guys on my show any chance I can, man. I'm always sending people out there after I close out my show.
We love you, Gio.
I gotta say this. The things that are going on right now is really, really interesting. I've been doing a lot of reading. I read the lawsuit. I read a few pages of the lawsuit. And I gotta say, guys, it's not mentioning the Miami Dolphins.
Correct.
Well, it's mentioning ownership.
The lawsuit's really mentioning racial discrimination and the Rooney Rule with Bill Belichick text messages, part of the lawsuit, as well as the Giants and the Broncos.
Wait a minute. No, wait, real quick, Gio. It actually does. It says Miami Dolphins Limited, New York Football Giants Incorporated, Denver Broncos, and John Doe teams 1 through 29. He's suing.
But when you read the lawsuit, that's what I'm saying. When you read the lawsuit, it doesn't ever mention the Dolphins again.
I got you. I'm just pointing out that who's listed.
It's weird to me because Brian Flores, right after the lawsuit dropped, is very quickly going to the media tomorrow with CBS Morning Show at 7 a.m. with his lawyer. And I don't know why it feels like to me that he's trying to go out there real quick and be like, hey, guys, you know, the lawsuit's not really portrayed around the Dolphins. I don't know what's going on. I don't know about the $100,000 because I feel like someone jumped the gun there and just wanted to throw the Dolphins' name under the mud, the hiring process. Reason why I'm saying that is because it's really weird. First and foremost, you have to have proof that someone's enticing you with $100,000. You either have to take the money and then you have that proof and then you're incriminating both you guys. Second, if it was
not necessarily incriminating him.
Well, hold on. Second, if it was verbally stated to Flores, you have to have witness there who could come in your defense and say, yeah, he did offer him $100,000.
It's not what you know, it's what you can prove when we're talking about
if you paid them and the receipts is in payment of any form of payment, all you need is an infamous signature of a check, a la, I ain't gonna say the infamous signature of the Stormy Daniels incident when Ross is contributing to the campaign of a person that has an infamous signature on the check that proved that he was paid hush money for porn stars. So I wouldn't put it past me that Stephen Ross is giving crooked money to somebody to do a dirty deed. So it's not beyond me.
Crypto, but before you say that, you gotta understand.
Tell us how you really feel, bro. Thanks for jumping on, bro. I appreciate you. Go ahead and get it. And Ronnie, yeah, 100%. No.
If you're gonna say that, Crypto, you gotta understand that he's.
Go ahead, Crypto. I want to know how you feel, man. You sound like the emotions are running high. I really want to hear it.
We got to get Gio's answer to that because he's about to say something really important, I think.
Yeah, I didn't finish.
You got in and out if you're still there. But, man, Gio, yeah, we talk about. Can you hear me, Gio?
Yeah, I hear you.
We can hear you fine, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, I just see Gio's thing. No, I can't hear him. What I was going to say is, man, this has just been embarrassing for guys like Culler. And the emotions that are involved with everything that's going on right now. It sounds like Crypto's got a little emotions behind him. Tony, I'm sure he's got the emotions behind him. My dad,
because they just glossing over the fact that Stephen Ross has dirty ties to people he
Bro, it's just
contribute
so
millions
much.
of dollars
It's
to.
so much.
If I could,
What you
Well,
call so don't be surprised that he's
I don't want to make
paying
it
off people
political,
to do
Crypto.
something dirty.
I don't
No,
wanna
it's not
make it-
political. I'm just saying.
Hold on.
I'm just making a
hold on.
connection on people doing dirty
Hold on.
stuff with money.
Hold on.
Hold on. I wanted to say something real quick.
I want to finish
That's
hearing
my
what.
problem with it. Is it shows
Just
the
don't be
lack
naive to the fact that he can do that.
It shows the lack of.
He's no saint.
I want to finish.
Hey,
I want to finish.
Go ahead, brother.
I want to finish hearing what Gio was saying.
Yeah, please, Gio.
All right, thank you guys. So basically, you guys got to understand, and Crypto, you got to understand too, bro, because at the end of the
Gio,
day,
we can't hear you right now. I know you're trying to speak.
We can hear.
We can
Listen,
hear him.
I
We
can
can
hear
hear him.
Gio. You can't. Something's
You might
going
have
on
your
at your end.
YouTube channel up and not the StreamYard. Check, make sure you got the right window up.
you got to understand that if Ross is writing those checks and Flores is cashing them, Flores will also be indicted for taking the payments. That's how it works.
That's what I thought you were going to say, Gio. That's what I wanted you to get it out.
It's irrelevant if he
I'm going
takes
to add
the check.
this before we get off.
Maybe he
topic.
didn't cash them.
No.
Hold on.
Works, brother.
What
What were you going to say, Brandon? Yeah, we can hear you. Go
Real
ahead,
quick.
Brandon.
All right. So just going off of what we heard today, don't know. Well, nobody can argue. We don't know the facts, the true facts, but we can go off of what we heard today. What I heard today was about the $100,000 payment for the losses, right? You heard that. The other thing
Which
you
is
also
no
heard
surprise
was,
to me. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. We're going to leave that where it's at. That's what we heard. The other issue I'm hearing is that Ross invited Flores onto his yacht and tried putting together a secret meeting with, they didn't say it, but it was Tom Brady, right? So that was the thing. Now what we heard was Flores, hold on. Flores walked off the yacht because of his high moral, didn't want to take a tampering type of meeting, right? So he's got high morals for that. So my thing is, if he got offered the $100,000 to take the losses, let's just say that was the case. He clearly did not take the money because that would counteract of what he's saying of his high morals of not taking the meeting. So it's going to be hard to prove if there was no money exchanged.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because why would Flores take money for losses, which is morally wrong, but he won't take a meeting with Tom Brady to try to get him onto the team because he walked off and said that was morally wrong. So I don't think there is going to be any payment.
Exclusive.
Kind of.
You're comparing one moral deed from another one. It doesn't matter.
What to you is worse? Taking money for losses or taking an illegal meeting with the tampering of a player? Which one do you think is worse?
The money for losses.
Well, the money for losses is clearly
the money
worse.
for money for losses. Okay, so
That
so
would
you're
be,
saying that.
but
So you're saying that he won't do that because that's worse, but he will meet on a yacht with a player, which he said he didn't do.
yeah, I mean that would be most likely what deed
Flores
you'll
would
do
be
because
guilty
of the lesser.
Hold on, if he wouldn't do the lesser, what we're agreeing, meeting with Tom Brady on Ross's yacht, if he wouldn't do that because that was bad, why would he take any money for losses, which is a worse moral thing to do?
And a criminal act.
Maybe he was given the money. What you call it?
Right.
Yeah,
but,
okay,
but Crypto,
well-
what everybody's saying is that particular thing is a criminal act. And if Flores took the money, then he's part of the.
Is it criminal though?
No,
That's the problem. It's not criminal.
It could be argued because what we're talking about here is if they're taking money to lose games, that could be considered point shaving.
Yeah, and Stephen Ross had his
that
hands
would be
all
the NFL
in. Well, Stephen Ross had his hands all in gambling. Stephen Ross has been diving into gambling, and if he's trying to control the outcome and he's trying to get into gambling, this whole thing goes deeper.
Right, that's not an illegal act. I didn't.
But it is to throw games for gambling. That's what happened. We get crap like that all the time.
And that's the proof
and a
that
lot
he
of
may
this
have.
is allegedly. A lot of this is allegedly. But here we are seeing the same scenario happen to Ross as that I seen happen to Flo. All these reports, every little bit of tidbit of something that may or may not be that is perceived as such to the person who's giving it out, the information what I'm saying is making this so a waterfall of information. Now we've got, backdoor deals on boats with Tom Brady out there. A lot of this is going to get fleshed out. The problem is that this is more of the same with this organization from this owner. It's been one scandal to the next because I've got proof of other ones, and this is another one now. So I got to err on the side of caution of more of the same.
I think the other 30 owners have had enough.
And that's what I was trying to get at, Chris.
That's right, Crypto. I knew what you were trying to say, brother. I heard
right.
You. That's why I jumped in. I knew what you were getting at. And it's you know, in some ways, it's so unfair to us doing everything we can to show support on every angle of this team. Where now here we are pitted against each other over, you know, quarterbacks or this, that, and the third. And I feel like I'm being had. And Culler says this all the time. We're being, you know, ripped off. We're just being failed upon, as it seems. We're being ripped off in some ways because it's talking out of both sides of your mouth. We're talking about owners and, you know, political stuff, and I get that. That's I don't even want to know all of it. You know what I'm saying? Unless I know unless I got to deal with. But we are dealing with it. It's constantly in our face where my logo and my team is run through the friggin' mud. And there's someone's going to have to pay the penance on this.
Hey, Chris, and, I got a question. It's on that. I got a question for everybody because those of y'all are in South Florida. I'm not. How do you tell? Okay, so how do you tell a Dolphins fan right now? How do we represent our team to these other fan bases? And how do I represent myself as a Dolphins fan going around knowing that all this is going on? What do you like? What do I have to defend? What do I have to defend?
What do
I'm gonna put a bag over my head.
It's embarrassing to be a Dolphins fan that doesn't live in South Florida. It's 100%. Like I'm getting joke after joke after joke about my team right now, and I don't have anything good to say.
Mike, it's not even just out of state. You get up to the 561 in my area, and I'm ridiculed. I've been ridiculed for the last 20 years wearing my colors.
Yeah, and right now, how do you? And I see why you're so emotional, Culler, because how do you like? Literally, how do you represent this team right now in a positive fashion?
I praise the Patriots fans that are all at the bars and in our stadium. I say nice game, and I walk out of the stadium.
Yeah, but we go home against them, so we get at least a laugh there, Culler. But it's this stuff, wins, losses, football talk, that I can deal with. We're talking about bullying scandals, talking about drug scandals. Now we're talking about potential racism scandals.
But to your point, Chris,
whether it pans out to be an issue of that, I don't know. But here we are again, tied to a public eye in an ugly way, destroying my brand for my football team. Because that's the real trick, guys. They ain't nobody own it. It's everyone's because it only exists as the money and the product. Because if there's no money, nobody shops at Walmart. Walmart will go out of business. It's just the way it works. And I'm not saying we don't starve it of our money because then we lose our football team. That ain't what I want. I ain't about that. What I'm about is, I'm about making this shit right, bro. And there's got to be some way where us, as the lot of us, all in our dysfunction, find unity to make our voices heard. And that's kind of what all of us do in some ways. As you guys see, we open these panels. We'd love to get more new people on. Gary came up in here. I love finding the new faces because I'm hearing the same. Although we all see things differently, there's really a lot of unity in our perceptions because we all are together on this because the one thing we agree upon, this team has not been, it's been subpar.
Yeah, and now we're not getting what we want.
Not only that, but we have the unity as the Dolphins fans. We all bleed aqua and orange. Now it's time to make this unity is being tested like no other right now. We got to stand firm and strong.
Real quick, Mike, that last mic you were just using.
This is all the torture I can take
that was a
for the
great
night.
mic, whatever it was.
I gotta go, man. Listen,
Brandon,
I'll
talk
to you guys
to you tomorrow,
later,
brother.
man. Y'all check out. Yep, man. I love all you guys. I want to tell you there's brighter days ahead, but who the hell knows? Hey, come over Thursday and check out the Cash Ticket show, guys.
Check out Cash and Tickets, guys. Brandon will hook you all boys up.
These guys know what they're talking about, too.
Stephen Ross is going to implement the succession plan on Monday.
Real quick, Crypto. These guys at Cash and Tickets know what they're talking about, guys. Trust me. I had a pretty good weekend last week. Not doing exactly what they told me to do, but following a lot of their advice and looking at things the way they show you how to look at things. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So
Gio,
give them a shot,
Chris,
man.
my patience
Yes.
is wearing thin to the point where I might not even watch the NFL the next 10 years. I'm just be focusing on the Marlins and the Hurricanes and the Heat.
Well, listen, giving your teams you love your attention is part of it. But to me, in some ways, I look at Jacksonville. I used to live up in North Florida in that area, and I seen how the fans turned in a way after Saxonville, and bro, the stadium's dilapidated. The fan base is torn. Like they've got a marquee.
They were talking today about trading Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly, bro. Like, look at the state of it. The one thing they got of I'm saying, bro, they are that owner devalued that team to move that team, and there ain't no secret about it, bro.
Chris, will you put Jeff Fernandez's comment back up? And I want Gio's response to that.
Yes,
because
hold on, let me find
he said
it.
he read the
also
deposition. So go ahead, answer that, Jeff.
Yep.
I mean, answer that, Gio. He says, has anyone noticed in his statement for collusion?
Colluding.
There's one person missing in this meeting, and that's the person in charge of player personnel. So did you see Chris Greer's name anywhere?
No, man. That's what I was saying. It wasn't mentioned at all. We read that whole lawsuit, man. Listen, something weird is going on, and this is why I think Flores is rushing to the media tomorrow to clear something out. I mean, we could hope that that's what happens. But it is interesting that if this guy – so, listen, I don't knock Flores. Flores was a good defensive coach for the Miami Dolphins. What I do knock him for is how can you say you have such high morals, but then you hang Kenny Stills out to dry when Kenny Stills has difference of opinion with Ross and the political things he's doing and Jay-Z, and then during practice you're playing a Jay-Z song and you run him out of the team a week later.
That was nothing more than a coaching device.
But he's
that's all that was. Correct.
Playing a Jay-Z.
But when the lawsuit he implemented, he intimated that he had morals. That's what I'm not getting. Where at in that lawsuit that he intimated that he had morals?
Where are the morals when Kenny Stills is speaking out about systemic racism and Ross's political hand, and then out of nowhere, you play a song, a Jay-Z song, right after Kenny Stills is having issues about Jay-Z and Ross, and then Kenny Stills is out of the team a week later. Where are your
I don't know,
morals?
Gio. I can't think of it as self-deprecating at that point. What I think, and I looked at it for what it was, face value, is Flores.
His wife. It was his wife, Gio. I think.
I don't know anything about the wife either. I won't make that assumption, Tony, especially about someone's old lady. You want to see guys get real pissed, start talking about their woman. I say this. Hold on, Tony. I say this. Kenny Stills, is flexing the veteran muscle. New coach coming in. You got to show he's new big dog. Kenny Stills don't like it. They didn't see eye to eye. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's any systemic racism, some kind of power. Power struggle maybe, but that's kind of what we were at that point. Tanking team, talent, a little bit of going on. But guys, I got somebody else jumping into the stream here. Mike, why don't you go ahead and introduce? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Labruto?
Yeah,
Labruto?
You got it.
Hey, what up, dude? Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you jumping
What's
on.
going on?
What thoughts you got?
No, I agree with a lot of the stuff going on. There's problems with the ownership. Don't get me wrong. I do. But I can't completely not blame Flores for his job too, because he's the same coach that won 8 out of the last 9, went 1 out of his first 7. There's a lot of blame to go around both ways. But, and that's just the way I look. I'm not, like I said, there needs to be more African American head coaches in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. There needs to be owners that are African American. Don't get me wrong. But here's the issue.
It's
Flores
an old boys
had his fault, but so did Ross. So both parties can be wrong.
I agree
What's
with
up,
that.
Todd?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Hey,
How
Big
you
John.
And
doing,
that's
Todd? How's
probably what the
everything?
NFL is going to come in at.
Yep. Big John, you've
Mhm.
been quiet for a minute. Go ahead and give us your thoughts, bud.
I already said it, man. I don't blame Ross for the whole boat incident. You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. We've been praising, you know what I'm saying, the Patriots for doing it and blurring that gray line many times. But I do blame him. If he did all this thing, if he did all this tanking and proposing money, that to me was bullshit. But I can't, like Todd said, I can't. That doesn't change the fact that you did everything you did this year to have a situation of two quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, hovering over a team and making them underachieve and not letting Tua play when he was healthy and all this other bunch of shit that I know that happened that had nothing to do with Stephen Ross. So, like I said, like Todd said, they can both be wrong, man. And that's where I'm at.
Crypto?
Yeah, yeah, but at the end of the day, well, at the beginning of the day, this whole thing started in 2018, and it just spiraled out of control from there. And it just this is I ain't even gonna say the climax of it. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yep.
You know, there's more to be discovered. You
Yeah,
know,
this is the
on
government
what you
finna
know.
get involved now, and I don't know about y'all, but I try to like keep my business, personal, and government try to separate.
Hey,
Because it's going on
hey,
CBS
now,
tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Eastern.
Bro, it's
So,
So you don't want CBS getting the story.
What
That's it.
hat in the picture is he wearing? That's my point. What hat he
Chris,
got on in that
and now we're
picture?
going to have the anti-gambling caucus
the
up in
biggest-
Congress crying their eyes out for the next
Chris,
3
the
months.
biggest downfall. You know more about the gambling than me because I don't do that.
Got you, brother.
But for Ross to be having 17 million invested into a gambling thing, and then paying 100,000 to lose, no matter what even if he was doing it to get Burrow, the optics don't look good.
Bad, bro. Especially with
Yeah,
the
it's just bad
organization
optics, yeah.
trying to push for internet. First of all, they want sports gambling legal everywhere. Number one, they want to streamline live betting because I'm telling you, it's the future. But the most important thing is they want to sell this to an international market. That's where they were going. That's the growth that needs to happen. They've already begun that process, expanding leagues, expanding rosters, going to expand caps. They got to grow it into something to become more, because if you ain't growing, you're dying. And they got to show the legitimacy in this business. And this is the worst thing that could have happened for them right now in the middle of this. Mike.
Okay, guys, so I got a question for the panel, and this is going to be our closing question. So closing thoughts on everything we've talked about, whatever, but this is the question. I mentioned on multiple panels that I was worried whenever we fired Flores, that I was worried this was all going to blow up in our face and we're going to be rebuilding again and everything. So now that all this has come out, barring any punishment that may come down, if we lose draft picks, if we lose Ross, if Ross is forced to sell, if we lose Chris Greer, whatever happens, is it about to blow up in our face, or is there a way to survive this? And I want to hear from Big John first, and then Culler. We're going to go Big John, Culler, Crypto, Gio, Tony, Labruto, Chris, and then I'll close it out.
I don't think it's gonna blow up in your face. I think we're all expecting McDaniel to be the head coach. At least I am. I've been telling that to everybody. I don't see Harbaugh coming over here in the middle of this mess, especially with Ross on the chopping block if he has to sell the team. I think McDaniel comes in here. I think he fixes the offense. They're going to keep the defense the way it is. They're not going to change coordinators. And I think if he can unlock Tua Tagovailoa the way I think he can, because the guy, I'll give him that. He may look like a nerd, but he's a football nerd. And if he can unlock it the way he says he can, and he's supposed to be coming in for an interview face-to-face on Thursday, I would expect before the end of the weekend that he's the coach. And if he's the coach, even through all, sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. Who knows if this is the catapult the Dolphins need to have a great season next year? Because if all they gotta do is fix the offense,
I love that.
They have
John.
a lot of cap. They have a lot of cap space.
I love that,
and,
John.
You may not need draft picks to better this team. If all you need is one receiver and a couple of offensive linemen, and you have the defense in place, it's already here. And you have studs that you already drafted.
I like that.
I think that everybody's going to be shocked if he can do what I think he can. And believe it or not, he's a first-time coach, but he's a first-time coach with a lot of cachet, bro. He knows a lot of people. And
yeah, if you saw my show, Big John, if you saw my show Saturday, that's what I mentioned. I was trying to make a case for Mike McDaniel and the fact that he's been in the league 15 years, 6 different teams. That's a lot of relationships to make, and that's a lot of connections to make.
Yeah, you made your coaching trees.
You know,
did your little coaching tree diagram. It was very good.
So I think this it's going to be, hopefully none of it is as true as we think it is, but if it is, Stephen Ross will go with his millions of dollars and go bang some hookers, but I think Dolphins will be fine.
All right, Culler, what about you, bud? Because I see you emotional, Bubba.
There is a way to get out of it, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I really don't, because I don't really see, even with McDaniel, even if he calls up 10 people that he's got on his tree, they've got to come here and coach in this distraction. Now, I will say this: if this is all done and said and everything's resolved within a reasonable amount of time before training camp, then that issue is off the table because a coach won't have to deal with a distraction. But I can't understand how any coach, any player, anybody with any worth or talent would want to come here and coach here or play here under a distraction. Have we not learned for the last 30 years? We all think distractions don't really matter, even the littlest thing, but it does. That's like rule of thumb in the NFL. You know what I mean? The only other thing I want to say is that what pains me the most, and it's back to the earlier point about earlier question you had about representing our team and all that. It's not even so much the ridicule I've suffered up here in the 561. I mean, I'm a Hurricanes fan. Half the people are here are Seminoles fans, so I get it. I'm already used to that.
Oh my God, dude! Oh, so much over here on the west side too.
Oh
bro.
yeah, I'd imagine.
Oh my Lord!
And you probably got all the Central Florida fans over there too. The UCF.
No, not
fans.
so much.
No?
They're all in. They don't rep it. Not like the Knowles fans, bro.
The biggest thing that's painful to me that I've experienced repeatedly over the last year or two going to games is walking out of the stadium, walking to my parking or my car that's parked, in the yellow zone. So you're talking about, not a big walk, but a decent walk from the stadium. Okay. And the whole time, because you're still in the complex in the yellow parking, the whole time you're listening to the Patriots fans cheer while Tom Brady's kneeling the ball down to run the clock out. Okay, then you think that's the worst part of it, okay? Because that's bad enough, okay? But then you drive up north on the turnpike, you get on it, and the first turnpike stop you come to, I believe, is Pompano Beach Plaza, the Pompano Beach Plaza, if I'm not mistaken, okay?
Yes,
and you go in there to stop to get a cup of coffee at the Dunkin' Donuts, right? And use the bathroom. And the line for the Dunkin' Donuts is down the road. Everybody's got a number 12 jersey on. You go into the bathroom, okay, and you're standing there pissing next to 50 Patriots fans. Okay, I'm absolutely done with that. Okay, and let me just give you an example of what I did, because this is my comic relief time. We all know I got it. You know what I mean? So here we go. So I'm standing there at the stall pissing, right? And I just had my head face forward, staring at the wall, and I said, "Don't worry, guys. We'll all be here for you when your guy's gone. We know what it's like to lose a Hall of Fame quarterback. We'll be here for you." And all I heard was, "Shut the F up."
All right, Tony. Appreciate you, Culler. Go ahead, Tony.
Thanks, Culler. I'll talk to you backstage.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Is it gonna blow up in our face, or are they gonna figure it out?
Honestly, if Ross is gone, I'm predicting this. I honestly see John Ruiz, the guy who's trying to get the stadium for the Hurricanes, buying the team from Ross, honestly. And I honestly feel that it's not going to blow up in our faces, but this gambling thing is a conflict of interest with Ross, because he's trying to open up a Caesar's Palace in New York and stuff like that. This is a conflict of interest with him getting involved. If it's true what he was doing, this is a conflict of interest. He should just divest himself completely away from the team and stuff like that. If he's opening up a casino, That do you guys agree that's a conflict of interest?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Chris, you there?
I'm sorry, brother. I'm reading a million things over here, man. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear. What'd you say, Tony?
He thinks that opening a casino and this whole deal is a conflict of interest, and Ross is going to be forced to sell.
Yes and no, bro. Because honestly, well, yes, because it's kind of the same situation with Pete Rose. You can't bet on your team and things like that. I agree. Him being involved in it, I don't know, bro. That could be by proxy, subsidiary companies. Maybe it's something else. I don't know the logistics on it. If it's him giving money to buy in and stuff like that, yeah, I gotta say. But I always err on the side of caution. I do think it was dirty dealing, and I don't like all the scandals.
Sweet. All right. Well, appreciate you being here as always, Tony. Go ahead, Gio. The floor is yours, my man.
What's up, guys? I was actually looking for something for you guys because, see, there's the thing about our Dolphin fans, right? We watch them closely. We remember that first year Brian Flores took over. And again, something weird is going on because I remember these exact words from Chris Greer and Brian Flores. Does everybody remember what they both said when they were originally being accused of tanking for Tua?
No. Educate us.
You guys don't remember that they both came out and said, look, guys, we're not going to put our players in a position to get hurt and risk their bodies out there. Because
I remember that.
To risk their bodies?
I remember hearing this rumbling.
You don't watch the Dolphins, bro? Like, I'm trying to tell you something, and you keep on interrupting and risk their bodies? Yeah, that's what Flores said. He's not going to have players that he looks as his kids to go out there and risk
it in an interview. He denied the notion of tanking always and forever, and proof was in the pudding.
Proof was in the pudding because he won 5 games.
That's right.
Hold on. All right. So here's the point. Why are you going to come out and now say that he was being forced to tank?
That's true.
Neither one of them is mutually exclusive. He was probably being forced to tank. He just didn't abide by it.
Listen, it's not.
They gave him a command to do it, paid him money for it, offered him the money, and he said no.
Yeah.
So you stay for that guy 2 more years?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Why he stuck it out? I don't know. Maybe he didn't think he'd get it.
He's on a contract.
Why would you stay with somebody? Well, you could have right there gone to the media and accused them.
Maybe it
wasn't because he still had a job. It was irrelevant at that point.
It's not like these jobs grow on trees. And also, you got to
goes out of the window because you want to keep your job.
No, that's not the point.
No, that is the point.
He already knew he lost enough games, and they were satisfied enough to get who they had in the draft anyways, and they didn't have no backup plan for it.
Crypto, listen to
what I'm saying. They went forward with him.
Listen to what I'm trying to tell you, okay? If your employer is telling you to do something that goes against your moral, and you have this evidence,
him not winning had nothing to do with the moral. You keep bringing a moral issue in it. When did he say he's standing on any kind of moral principles?
So why is he
bringing that in there? First of all, these dirty billionaires and these dirty people doing dirty things, ain't nobody coming in here with clean hands. So that's number one.
Crypto, you're not thinking about this. Listen, if
I am
okay, so
I don't trust Stephen Ross.
Okay, all right. So again, let's talk about this. They were asked if they were tanking, and they came out and said they would never put their players in position to tank. Why is it that Flores didn't come out right then and there? If he had all of this thing already since 2019, why didn't he come out?
Because they were still in the middle of trying to execute the plan.
So he wanted to keep his job for 2 more years and work for somebody that told him to throw.
No, that wasn't the point.
What's the point then, Crypto?
You tell me. What are you going at? What's your angle? I've already told you what I was. I told you what I was doing. What I said.
Okay.
So what do you going to go with more sabotage and more dirt on try to put more dirt on Flores and to continue this whole propaganda and slandering his name? Is that your angle?
No. I was going to give you 2 points. I was going to tell you that one, And I was going to tell you to think about that, because if someone tells me to do something that I know is morally wrong, I'm not going to say, oh, I want to keep my job. I'm going to stick here for 2 more years. And even though you're making me do all these things and the
But
relationship
it was
already.
only in the first season that they needed to do that.
Listen,
they failed on trying to tank, so they went with plan B, which they clearly didn't have. So they went into the following season. He won 10 games.
He came out there smiling all the time and came out to the media and said they were not trying to tank at all, that they're trying to win games.
That's coach speak. Of course, you're going to say that because you don't want nobody to obviously know that you're trying to sabotage a season.
You're a good human being,
even
bro.
if you clearly trying to do it. Let me tell you something. The San Antonio Spurs clearly tried to tank to get the #1 pick at Tim Duncan. You think Greg Popovich is going to admit that he was going out there trying to tank to get Tim Duncan? No. Nobody's going to sit up there and tell you and admit to tanking, even though everybody can clearly see the writing on the wall that that's what they intended to do. That's just PR move. No one's going to openly admit to tanking, regardless.
The point is, Crypto, is that if you're being offered $100,000 or whatever amount of money to lose games and you care about your players, you come out and you say
they had already lost 11 games. For anything, it could have been 11 times $100,000. He probably got enough already.
It don't matter. He could
they tell him to go 0-16.
He would have gotten another job if he would have come out and said that.
It's not about him getting another job.
So it's about him sticking it out and holding on to that information until right now?
You do what you can. He wasn't expecting to lose his job less than 5 years into the whole freaking deal that he was signed up to.
So again, integrity doesn't really matter when he wants to keep his job.
No, he lost his job because of integrity. Get that straight.
Oh, okay. Now the second point is, why is the NFL coming out so quick and trying to say that this is a merit-baseless claim?
CYA,
of course, because of you being sued, you're not going to gleefully say, I agree with the guy that's suing me. That's a no-brainer. Of course, you're going to come out there and try to debunk anybody that's trying to sue you for money. They're trying to take money out of your pocket.
Without an investigation.
Oh, if you sue me for millions of dollars, I'm going to say, oh, Gio, you're so right. That is such a merit-based claim. That has a lot of merit in it. I want to give you the money. I'm gleefully just going to give you the money. Thanks for suing me.
He's got the money to lose.
What kind of freaking person is going to sit up there and not try to refute anybody that's trying to sue them for money? That's a no-brainer.
So, but my point is not that it's not a no-brainer. Is that right there makes
you're saying it as if it's valid because they trying to they giving a pushback on the lawsuit.
Q put a good comment up here. It says Gio's trying to establish Flores' position in this scandal.
Correct.
And we've already established his Ross. And I understand he's giving context to it.
That's exactly all I'm doing.
Go ahead, Gio.
Go ahead, finish up, Gio.
So basically, my point is that not only did that happen, right? Then you got the NFL quickly, which they should not have done. You understand this, Crypto. No matter if it's the NFL, they should have said, we're going to do a thorough investigation because this matters to us. Instead of saying it's a baseless merit claim. That's what they
George Albanese, you're BS.
Hold on, Crypto. We're gonna let you run your thoughts afterwards. Finish up, Gio, please. Sorry, buddy.
So basically, that's what they should have said. They should have quickly have said, hey, you know what? This really is concerning to us. We're going to go ahead going on because it's important to us. Instead, they went the other way.
Like Deshaun Watson.
They went 1,000%, right? So instead, they're like, oh, you know what?
Going out to anybody for an upgrade.
What?
They was trying to upgrade the position from day one.
No. I was talking about the NFL when Watson's
claims came out. Yeah, you could tell 1,000%. You could tell that there's a lot of moving parts here, and just like Ross may have had a hand, Flores also had a hand. Man, listen, there ain't no way I'm gonna be happy working for somebody for 3 years if you're trying to make me jeopardize my players' health here. And I'm not going to be smiling in every draft party, acting like everything is hoorah and great. I've had many jobs, and I've lost many jobs because of stuff like that, man. That's my character. And today, I don't understand why it makes no sense why you hold on to this information if it was so against your integrity and moral.
Makes perfect sense.
It doesn't, bro. It really doesn't.
Makes perfect sense.
All because he wanted to keep his job, then your morals
No,
already.
that's irrelevant.
So what's the relevancy of him not saying anything?
It don't have to be. You're trying to prove a double negative.
You
It's
just
irrelevant.
said, why is it irrelevant?
Because of the crap that you're saying.
What is the crap that I'm saying? What do you mean? You say it's irrelevant. I'm trying to tell you
He's trying to stick a he's trying to cover up that he wants to hold on to a job that's trying to force him to do something that's immoral. You keep injecting morality in this. When did he say in the lawsuit that he was trying to hold a moral standard?
He said integrity more than once, bro, and moral. Did you read the?
No. Where?
Did
Bring
you
it
read
up.
the
Where's the receipts?
I read it, bro. It's in my show. Go look it up, my man.
Where did he say that he was holding up to such this high moral Mother Teresa like standard?
Integrity of the game, the moral of putting. I'll read it to you right now, bro, because I got it up. I'll read it to you right now. You ready? I'm gonna read it to you.
I'm ready to hear it.
Don't go nowhere.
All right, yeah. I want to hear this, Mike. I know we're trying to close up here in the next few
My
minutes.
bad,
but I
Mike.
want No, you're okay. You're okay. We want
3 hours.
No, because this is insights, more slander. This is why he having a press conference
You keep
tomorrow,
saying I'm
so he can
slandering.
clear his name.
You saying I'm slandering, but
And
I'm
Big O
telling
is
you,
going to be one of the biggest people that's going to owe him a fat apology
you're
after all the
saying
dirt he done threw on this man.
you're saying
I'm waiting for Big O to
Did
have
you see
a
how
bunch
the
of crow
reporters
tomorrow.
were talking? Also, real quick before you say that, all this certainty. McDaniels was here yesterday. He wasn't here. He's supposed to be coming a couple days. So everyone was talking about all the. First of all, everyone was riding off of a Yahoo article thing, and I don't know if you guys know this. And no dogging on Yahoo. I love their products, but they have failed us before with some of their breaking news. So, but I'm sorry, Gio. Go ahead.
Yeah,
buddy.
I agree.
No, you're good. I'm here trying
I never
to.
bought into Harbaugh anyways.
Oh, you're still trying
I
to
know,
find
Crypto.
it?
You've been off him since the beginning. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fool's gold, the Harbaugh thing. They're only going to hire the persons that they given second interviews to. They've been transparent to us about their hirings for the last 20 years, and they never had no what I call smoke-filled room hirings of their last 5 coaches. It's always been out there in the open
organization
about
has
it.
Smoke-filled room.
As far as their behavior, but as far as the way they go about hiring the next head coach, they've always put it out. This is who we hiring. These are the people
Flores
we're
was
interested in, and
kind
that's
of
how it was.
Flores was a late hire, though, man. You remember that?
No, that's because he was in the Super Bowl, but they always told us his name. His name was on the list of people they was interested in, and they put that list out there. That's all I'm saying. Go with the list.
Well,
it's
then
not,
by that
it's
narrative,
not
it would be
difficult.
Bieniemy right now, potentially.
All right, you ready?
But go ahead.
All right, so this is where I tell you that, you can't say these things, but then you don't say anything for 3 years and you're cool with everybody. So morals cannot be legislated, but behavior can be regulated. The law cannot make an employer love me, but it can make him from refusing to hire me because of the color of my skin. In certain critical ways, the NFL is segregated and is managed much like a plantation. It's 32 owners, none of whom are black, profit substantially from the labor of NFL players, 70% of whom are black. The owners watch the games from atop NFL stadiums in their luxury boxes, while their majority black workforce put their bodies on the line every Sunday, taking vicious hits, suffering debilitating injuries to their bodies and their brains, while the NFL and its owners reap billions of dollars. That right there is why I'm saying what I'm telling you.
Okay, that's fine. Now, what was wrong about that statement that you just read?
No. Listen, you're twisting. I'm not telling you there was anything wrong from it. I'm telling you that the part that is wrong is that if you feel like that morally as a man with integrity and good moral values, you don't sit on this for 2 years, my man, and you don't tell anybody anything until
you wait to collect further evidence to further your bombshell that you're going to reveal in case they do you wrong.
You're mentioning is 2019. That's where you're wrong. There's no more other evidence except for 2019. And if that was the case, he should have come out and said it. 2019.
I see it.
But it's irrelevant whether you hold it or no. There's no statute of limitations on when you have to reveal something that's
My brother,
damning to somebody.
you keep going out to statute of limitation. No one is saying that. You're still cool
But
with the fact that
you're intimating that he has to reveal it instantaneously
you're
upon the egregious act that he experienced. That's like you saying a person that gets raped immediately have to go to the police officer and tell him, even though she may be traumatized and sit on it for 5 or 10 years because she's traumatized. That's like saying the rape victim always got to instantaneously go to the authorities. Well, in theory, they might have to, but you don't know what's going on with that woman's mind. Just because you get egregiously something done wrong to you doesn't mean you have to instantaneously report it.
This is the problem. The problem is that you're mixing rape now with someone coming
It's
out.
not the problem. It's the principle. I'm saying if somebody do something egregious to you, forget about the rape. Forget about the rape. I'm saying if somebody do something egregiously wrong to you, they have to instantly do something about it.
Why women don't come out and speak about rape sooner is because of the emotional ramifications they deal with, the PTSD and the backlash that they might not be believed.
And that's the point. There's some women that report it instantly. There's some that don't. What I'm saying, everything that's done to you egregiously don't have to be instantaneously reported.
But this is not to that degree of at all what's going on. Ross had the moment, not Ross, Flo had the moment to go out there and say something. Because that analogy that you said about, you should not have said that, bro. You shouldn't have. It's not the same.
No, it's not the. No, it's the principle behind what I'm saying. As far as something being done wrong to you, don't have to always be reported. Because it wasn't done in your time frame, in your world, doesn't make it so that Flores had to instantaneously report
but it was okay to do it right when we were about to hire a coach.
So what? So what if it wasn't convenient for you? The Rocks go with the farm.
Convenient for him to say it now instead of before to keep his job for 2 more years.
No, the real thing, it wasn't convenient for you because you felt like it hurt the franchise, and they're probably going to lose some picks, and they're going to probably be all in distraught.
Hey, everybody. Okay, hold up. I think we both can agree to disagree at this point. Gio, one last closing statement, and then we're gonna get to Crypto. Let him close it up, and then
and Gio, let everybody know where they can find you, brother.
Please plug your show, bro.
Miami Sports Fanatic Show. They could go find me over there. Guys, this thing is there's a lot of moving parts here, man. It's not just one party. It's very, very suspicious that I agree that as soon as Flo got fired, there was a lot of people trying to throw dirt on his name, and then also vice versa. Flores was trying to throw dirt on Tua's name and other members of the Dolphins organization, and then boom. Hey, you know what? I got this information. I'm going to just say it right now because I didn't want to say it the whole time I was the head coach of the Dolphins because I wanted to be okay and stay there. If Flores doesn't get fired, he still doesn't say anything. So that moral value right there that he came out with in that lawsuit, it goes out the window, man. And I'm sure tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, we're going to hear something about it. And when he backtracks that whole Dolphins claim, then what are we going to say?
Yep.
Can't wait, bro.
Crypto. Appreciate you, Gio. All right, Crypto. Go ahead and just let us know what you feel. You ain't really got to give your whole thought yet, so go ahead and get your thought out about everything that's going on, and yeah, definitely let us know, bro.
Oh yeah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, Mike, Chris. The like I said, I've always had my doubts in the organization doing the right things, even up into the coaching hire. I've always said, stick with the list. Don't make it difficult. You know, he's already checked it twice because he's offered some interviews for a second time interviews with the Dallas Cowboy guy and
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. And then Mike McDaniel was offered. Dable was actually offered a second interview before he chose the Giants job. So I'm saying, let's not overcomplicate it. They've always made a list and made it known public throughout all of their hirings throughout history, as long as I've been following this team, and they never strayed away from the original list that they made public. It was never any backroom, smoke-filled room deals that came out of the blue and say, "Oh, who is Joe Bubba from freaking 7-Eleven? I didn't know he was being talked to behind closed doors." No, that's never happened. So stick with the list. I'm going to go with Daniels. That's all I'm saying. You know, or Kellen Moore. It's none of this Harbaugh nonsense. I'll see it when I believe it, unless he steps at the podium and say I'm the next head coach of the Dolphins. And then as far as this whole thing about the new
Flores.
Mentis Flores scandal bombshell that's going to be on CBS tomorrow at 7:00. I just can't wait to hear. I don't even think he will be backtracking anything he originally put out there. I think he's just going to stick to what he said and put on paper within the suit, and he's not going to backtrack from anything he originally put down. I'm going to at least make that bold prediction, because what's the point of putting all that 56-page report out and then all of a sudden go on national TV just to backtrack and put your foot in your mouth? What kind of sense does that make? So, you know, you got to double down on the lawsuit that you got, because your goal is to win the law. It's to win the lawsuit, not to go on national TV and just to tell everybody that, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to put the lawsuit out there, just by putting your foot in your mouth. It makes no logical sense. So that, you know, he's going to stick to his guns.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to listening to the details on what's going on. And I'll make this bold prediction, Mike and Chris.
Let's hear it.
I think Stephen Ross is going to implement his succession plan of the ownership takeover coming soon, sometime this month.
I think that happens. I agree with that,
I'm
brother.
all for that.
See you, Crypto. Sorry, buddy.
No, I'm just saying sometime this month. Yeah.
All right, Crypto.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
brother.
Later, Crypto. Go ahead, Chris. What you got?
Oh, man. First of all, guys, everybody love everybody. But anyhow, back onto the point, man. I appreciate everyone coming on here. We all have different perspectives, Mike. I like to keep it real in some ways. Sometimes I like to keep it fun. You know, I hear what Gio's saying about Flores and where his part and play in this, and if this is just a smokescreen, how can he sit there for years dealing with this? I gotta be honest, to me it's kind of my same, and this is what I equate it to, and I kind of side with Crypto a little bit more on why Flores did sit with this. Now, whether I believe it or not, I'll you know, I believe that there's scandalous shit happening, because that's more of the same around here. But what I do understand is Flores, you got to put yourself in his shoes, guys. You're talking about a gajillionaire that owns the team, that's asking you to do favors, that's trying to get you. I mean, it's not like Flores, you don't know. It's a first-time head coach. You don't know if this is the way it works. You don't know if he's buying into some system. Who knows? I'm just saying it's really a big ordeal. And quitting, giving up ain't never the answer for me. And it's not a you can't beat them, join them for me either. If you can't beat them, try harder. Try to beat them at their own game. Never stop. You got to outwork, and never compromise your pride or compromise your code or what you believe to be right or wrong. And I feel like Flo has always been a man of conviction. I do fault him for how he lost his cool in more than one occasion. But I also, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Like I always like to say, we'll wait and see. But I got to disagree with you, Crypto. I see a perfect scenario where Harbaugh is the right savior walking in. And I know they're talking about this happening. And if that falls through, then I expect it to be a Caldwell situation. If McDaniel comes in here, guys, that is not, I don't know, unless it's a McDaniel knew all this and there's some fresh mind and yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. We'll ride or die. And maybe, you know, and I forget who said this, but maybe this galvanizes the team in a way where they build something fresh. They have a whole fresh new start, man.
Dude,
I think that was Big John. All right, yeah. I'm gonna drop back, Mike. Why don't you make sure?
Yeah, I appreciate you, Chris, as always. Thanks, Cap. But he brings me to my point. I've said before I wanted somebody to come in here that could galvanize the locker room. If these allegations are true, if there's wrongdoing that has happened, maybe, just maybe, this is where the positive side of me comes out, is maybe, just maybe, this does galvanize the locker room and get everybody back on the same page for a young coach like a Mike McDaniel. Please, no Kellen Moore. But I'm on board with Mike McDaniel. I think he strikes me as a little bit different because I just feel like if he's the people person that we've seen on camera and that we've heard from firsthand witnesses, if he's the people person he is, then maybe he can build a great staff. But if this situation and whichever way it goes, it can galvanize the locker room, maybe then it's a good starting point to go forward. But are we going to lose picks? Or is Ross going to have to succeed or sell? Is Greer going to lose his job? Are we sticking with Tua? What are they going to do this offseason? Free agency's coming up. We have $74 million. So if we do lose picks, maybe we can get it okay with just signing free agents, and give us another 2-3 year gap before we get our picks back. Whatever is going to happen, at the end of the day, this is a shit show. This is the circus. This is the Barnum and Bailey in South Florida, and it's only going to get crazier starting tomorrow morning. We can only hope that maybe once all the craziness starts tomorrow morning, that we get some coaching news later, or maybe we get it Friday. I don't know, but we need the coaching news. That's the one thing that can maybe bring us back to thinking about football again. And because these allegations are just way bigger than the Miami Dolphins. This is something that's going on everywhere, whether it's tampering, whether it's the bribery, whether it's the collusion, whether it's the systemic racism, whatever you want to call it. This is going on everywhere in the NFL. It's not just about the Miami Dolphins, and he's trying to highlight it with multiple different teams and his personal experiences. And who are we to tell him he's wrong? Because those are his words. And if he is wrong and he's found out to be wrong, then we can sit here and say that he's wrong. But at this point, it's our opinion versus everybody else's opinions. Facts are there. The court's going to see the facts. They're going to come out with the rest of the case, and they're going to end up telling us what happened. And but going forward, maybe this doesn't blow up in our face. I'm thinking maybe this can galvanize the locker room, and I'm thinking maybe the right head coaching hire can get the fan base, the majority of us, back on the same page. But thank you to everybody that showed up here tonight. I truly appreciate it. This was fun. Open mic is always madness. It's always going to be crazy. We're always going to have some popcorn-worthy moments, and I appreciate y'all staying. Please remember, like, subscribe. If you're watching this after we've gone live, please remember to like and subscribe on your way out. Comment. I always go back and check the comments after we go live to see if people come and maybe they say something at the very end and I didn't get to see it. Thank you again, man. Y'all in the comments, y'all are amazing. That's the reason I have so much fun. Y'all keep me laughing. It's great. Bari, appreciate you, bro. But and John, I think he's expected to sign in Minnesota, but he hasn't signed in Minnesota, so we'll see. But guys, I'm gonna run through the shows one more time. I appreciate y'all being here, but remember, come on Tonk7 for TMI Tuesdays at 9 p.m. You can stay afterwards for the open mic, which we're doing tonight with Mike on the mic. And then Saturday, you can catch me again at 10 p.m. And then Thursdays, we've got Cash and Tickets with Brandon the Bookie, Big Kevin, Wizard of Oz, the most educational betting show you'll ever find. Definitely, they're on heaters all the time. They're going to give you the right information. As always, you can jump on the Finn's Tailgate. It's the tailgate party that never stops. And check the show out anytime it goes on. Make sure your notifications are on so you can get a part of the commentary from Culler himself. He is a part of the Finn's Tailgate. We love that we found him and are able to do this for him. If you want to help support the channel, please check out the Venmo and the Cash App. It's on our page. Appreciate you, George. Appreciate everybody. Peace out, guys. See you next time.